All right, and welcome to another episode of the Jumping the Rail podcast here on the JTR Podcast Network. This is Mark Rebin coming to you from the Noodles position in Champaign, Illinois. Joined as always by my buddy Minderz. And Minderz, as we're recording, I am watching the main event from this past weekend's Wrestling Revolver show, Elimination Games, on mute because I was watching it before we went on the air, and you would not enjoy this.
Probably not, from what I've been told.
A lot of plunder, a lot of fuckery. I mean, I'm good with it except for the skewers. Old Mance Warner had to bring in
No,
skewers.
no skewers, thank you.
We agree, no pointy things
No
in
pointy
death
things.
matches. Syringes,
Well,
skewers.
okay, thumbtacks don't bother me.
No, forks are okay.
No,
It's the
sorry.
Abdullah the Butcher principle. The fork is
If
all right.
if it's Abdullah doing it, I'm fine
Or
with it.
homicide.
Or
Homicide got grandfathered in.
Yes. Moxley? Hell no.
He probably just raided the room service card at his hotel before the show and just brought a fork with him.
Right, exactly. But yeah, Moxley? No. Abdullah? Yes. Homicide? Yes. That's about it. That's all you get.
Okay. We got a good one today. We're going to be joined by Pauly Thomaselli from the Chicago area in about an hour or so, and we got a lot to talk about. In the meantime, Minderz.
Where are we starting?
Well, why don't we start with the elephant in the room? And I don't mean that in some sort of negative connotation, because we got our big debut on Dynamite on Wednesday. The worst kept secret in wrestling.
Almost as badly kept as Punk coming back.
Probably
when
worse.
he came back to AEW. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, worst kept secret. I'm not saying it was less well executed, but.
Well, no, both. But
well,
whatever.
Hey, I'm going to say this, though. They had a hell of a house on that Dynamite, so the people came out for it.
It's because they knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Now just wait. I want to see what happens next week.
Yep. Now we wait. Now we got to see if they can keep that audience, because I don't know that Mercedes is going to be there every week.
What the hell was up with her hair? I know I'm one to talk.
I'm in no position to criticize either. I wear a hat for a reason. So apparently,
I had the same discussion with Trinity's hair.
Uh-huh. Well, they're best buds, so they probably go to the same person. Apparently, she's the CEO now. She's not the boss, so she got a promotion.
So, did Tony get a demotion?
Well, no, Tony's still the owner.
I thought he was CEO too.
Well, he might be, but I can't keep track.
I can't keep them all straight. He's got too many titles.
He's like the Ultimo Dragon of corporate positions in a wrestling company.
Exactly. I don't know. How did you feel about Mercedes coming back? Thanks.
I'm okay with it. I mean, like we said, it's not like we didn't know it was coming. Her debut in AEW was a hell of a lot better than her debut in New Japan. I know you remember that.
That's not hard to beat.
This is very true. I mean, everything about that New Japan debut was the shit. The music was terrible. The promo was terrible. The in-ring was terrible. At least on Dynamite Wednesday, she hit her finish on Julia Hart in a better fashion. She actually made it look decent.
Yeah,
still not wild about the finish. It's still a little clunky to me.
Yeah, not a fan.
That Glory special into a flatliner, I guess, is what you'd call it. But I don't know. I know Tony loves his surprises, and I'll finger quote surprises here. Would this have been better if he would have just come out 2 weeks ago and said, "Hey, Mercedes Moné is debuting in Boston in 2 weeks"?
Well, that was pretty much what happened anyway.
Well, yeah, but he might as well have said the name.
Yeah, he may as well.
Because, I mean, surprises can be fun, but Tony's got to start selling tickets.
Mm-hmm.
If he was to come out, like if he was drawing shitty houses in 2021 and then he came out and said, "Oh, by the way, CM Punk is debuting in a month in Chicago." I mean, I know he sold out anyway, just on the pretense that it might be Punk.
Right.
But some of these guys, And there's also the question of, and I'll use Osprey as an example, and I like Osprey,
Hmm.
but outside of your AEW diehards and your New Japan fans, who really knows who he is?
No one.
And I'm not saying that to
Unless,
disrespect Osprey.
unless diehard wrestling fans might know who he is. Not necessarily for those two brands, but a few years ago when he had the match. Wait, it wasn't him, was it? Who had the match with Ricochet? That was
That was Osprey.
that was Osprey. Okay,
Yeah. So he
okay,
he had his viral moment in that match. Yeah.
right, exactly. So people might know who he is just from that because Ricochet is a pretty big name now. So,
Right.
and he was there, or well, not so much when it happened, but not too terribly long after that. So people had started looking for stuff that he had done. So, yeah, I mean, okay, you know, but yeah, I couldn't tell you what Osprey's work was until he came to AEW.
Now, see, I'm in a different category because I follow New Japan pretty
Right.
pretty regularly, so I was very familiar with Osprey. But you're taking Osprey, you're taking Okada, who debuted last week, and same deal. I mean, if you
So
fought,
but
if you
he debuted the same time Mercedes did.
same day, yeah.
So who was supposed to be our big special announcement?
I think I think it was supposed to be Mercedes because, like it or not, Mercedes is more known than
She's a
Okada
name.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's a WWE person. So
even though she's using a different name,
right,
but
but people know her as
everything else
Sasha
is the same.
Banks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I I don't know. I've never been a big Sasha Banks fan. I was never a Mercedes fan.
I was
So
okay
to
with her. I
me,
mean, she wasn't my favorite, but she was all right.
there's so many. In my opinion, there were three other people there that were a lot better than her. Well, I'm not gonna say a lot better, but better than her, in my opinion.
I'm going to assume Charlotte,
Yep.
Bailey,
Yep.
and
It's the four horsewomen.
oh, so Becky. Okay, I didn't know if
Becky.
you had Becky on the lower tiers than Sasha in this case.
No. Um, I when those four came up through NXT, Sasha was my lower ranked one.
I thought she was annoying as hell in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until she got to the main roster that she was growing on me.
She started growing on me when her and Bailey had the Iron Woman match. And that was a
That was
really
in it.
good match.
Yeah, that was. I still think that's right up there as far as best NXT matches I've ever seen.
Yes, it was a great match.
Both those matches they had that year.
Mhm. Yes. So, I mean, that was pretty much when she started when she didn't as annoy me as much, I still hated her character,
Yeah,
but you were supposed to. So, that's fine. But she's still not been one of my favorites.
yeah. So she comes out, does her promo, and then she keeps getting peppered in over the course of the show, which is smart. Keep We'll see how the ratings were. We don't know what they look like through the whole show,
You haven't heard that yet, and I'm not
but
sure.
but I do think that would be smart of Tony to keep her kind of weaved in over the course, just to try to maybe keep some viewers hanging on through the show. Uh, why? I mean, I get having a women's match in the main event so Mercedes can run out at the end and get her flowers. Why is it Riho?
I don't know.
Riho and Willow in the main event, and I'm
Willow was
I'm all for
great.
Willow. I'm all
Yeah.
for Willow. Why couldn't and I think I told you guys this when we were in the car. Why wouldn't they have Julia and Willow or Julia and Statlander in a title match in the main event?
Or even well, that wouldn't work because they're buddies. Yeah, I mean, it just
Maybe have Sky and Statlander, maybe.
that was kind of my thought. Maybe go more along the lines of Sky and Statlander, but
But something, not
why
Riho.
Riho? What? Okay, so what blackmail does she have over Tony and Omega?
I still think that she's the 9-year-old girl that wrestled Kenny.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know that for sure, and I've never seen anything to confirm or deny that. But Kenny's got a soft spot for these Japanese girls, and nope, no, well, more power to him. But of all of them, Sheeta, where's Sheeta been? She could have been in that main event.
And
Thunder Rosa
Sheeta's
could have
more
been in the main event.
believable. Sheeta's very much more believable.
I'll throw another one. How about Thunder Rosa and Willow in the main event there?
That'd work.
Of course,
What
Thunder
about
Rosa's.
Serena and Willow?
I don't think Serena's got the time back yet to be in the main event. She just came back. So I think they're going to build her back up. Well, that's what I would do. I don't know what Tony's thinking. Uh, I mean, oh, AJ, thank you. He says Sheeta is an
Ah,
ROH challenging Athena. Okay. But Thunder Rosa, anyway, she's going to be teaming up with Deanna coming up against Mariah and Tony. And is there something, does she have heat with somebody else besides Britt Baker that she's not getting booked on Dynamite?
I don't think so. I have no
I don't know.
idea.
I don't know. I just think there were better options than Riho. And it's just for the simple fact, and she might be a very nice girl, I don't know, but I just don't believe her in the ring. She's so tiny. From the day that she beat Nyla Rose to win that AEW Women's title in that first Dynamite, I just checked out on her because I just didn't buy it.
Right.
And
Sorry, I
I
was
don't mean
looking
to.
to see if I could see what the ratings were for Dynamite. Here, I'm looking for it.
Okay, well I'm gonna take another angle here. So Mercedes comes out and saves Willow from the House of Black.
Blah.
Sorry, I got a little something in my throat there. Uh, Now Mercedes has a little unfinished business with Willow because
She
Willow
does.
beat her. So is that where they're gonna go first with her? Is she gonna
Well,
get her
didn't
win
they?
back?
Did Excalibur or somebody even mention that? I was thinking I heard that Wednesday night.
He may have. I think I had it muted by then because I had a Busted Open After Dark on with Bully
Ah,
Ray.
gotcha. More
But
important things.
well, better commentary anyway.
Yes.
Because of the overrun, Bully usually calls the play-by-play of the last 3 or 4 minutes as he's coming on the air because the show's not over yet. Can't be corny because his DVR freezes.
Right, exactly. And he doesn't know
Right.
what happens in the run over.
But anyway, so my question is, so assuming they have a run with Mercedes and Willow, do they just fast track her up to Tony Storm, or do they do like what they did with Punk, where they wait about
I
shoot,
don't
what did
think
they wait
she's going
about
to go
six,
straight
seven
to
months?
Tony Storm. I think she's going to take out Julia.
You think as in an attempt to kind of get a little shine on that title that Jade had
Yep.
before?
Yep.
Okay, okay, I buy it. You gotta get the you gotta put some credibility on some of those championships. If Tony's gonna keep bringing belts out, he's got to make them mean something.
Mm-hmm.
I think Roddy holding the international title was better than Pockets.
I do too.
Uh,
Hey,
Ring
here
of
you
Honor
go.
titles are what they are. But
So the total viewership last week 798,000.
oh, that's not good. That's the
Nope,
average.
that's the average.
Okay.
I
Do you
can't
have?
pull up. I don't have the quarters.
Oh, you didn't go to WrestleNomics?
I did. You want to pay the Patreon to have it?
I'd rather not.
Okay,
We don't
just
have that in the
checking.
budget.
I didn't think we did.
So it's actually lower than usually they pull about 850 or so.
Not lately. They haven't been.
Yeah, it's been they've been struggling a little bit. I think I think they're getting more views on YouTube than they are uh on TBS.
And that's not saying a whole lot
No,
because
I
that's
know,
still not very high.
but that's the thing. Like you look at like when The Rock came back and he had like what 70 million some odd views on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
When Punk came back, he had like some ungodly number of YouTube
Mm-hmm.
and
And
views
then
on.
you had the Bucks that couldn't even pull 1 million.
Mhm. Bucks barely pulled 800,000, didn't they?
Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
No. But it just comes down to a fact, and I know they've been going for 5 years, but if you ask the average layperson on the street these days about pro wrestling, what's the first thing they're gonna say? They're gonna say, "Oh, you mean WWE?"
Right.
They're not. AEW's not in the zeitgeist yet as far as mainstream wrestling, which I know is what Tony wants.
Okay,
Oh,
I've got
that's not a good
quarterly.
face. That's
I
not a
got
good face.
quarterly. I found quarterly.
Okay, what do you got?
Well, wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh, the
I mean,
suspense is
oh
killing me,
nope,
Minders.
nope, that was the wrong date. Hold on.
Oh
I gotta
no.
find the right date.
Ugh.
That one was bad though. Holy goodness. Um, all right, keep going. I'm still
Okay.
searching.
All right. So let's move on from Mercedes. Uh, I want to talk about Samoa Joe because Joe had his title match with Wardlow last week.
What a joke. We didn't even
Yeah,
know
I
what
mean,
happened. We didn't even know what happened.
well, yeah, we were doing the shootout and the match opened Dynamite, so we didn't see the match live. I mean, what the hell are they doing with Wardlow?
I don't know.
This guy could be their. I mean, I know it's everybody says that he could have been their Goldberg. I don't like Goldberg, so I don't make that comparison. I mean, the guy looks like $1 million. He can move. He can cut a promo apparently from the last few weeks. So they're just they're just dropping the ball with this guy left and right, and then they put him in a glorified squash match with Joe on TV, free TV.
Uh-huh.
When with this story with him in the group, and apparently he's supposed to win the title and give it to Cole when he's healthy.
Blah
They could have
blah
stretched
blah.
that. Well, yeah, but they could have stretched this out to a pay-per-view.
They could have.
They could have, but well, hang on.
Yeah, put him up. There he is.
Yeah, there he is. Thanks, guys. So my question now is, do they just go right to Joe and Swerve for the world title?
I
It seems
don't
like
think we
that's
can.
where they're going.
I know that's where they're going, but is Paige not going to keep causing shit?
AJ, I've seen this one, and you are not wrong.
um. Okay, wait. Well, while we're at a pause for a moment.
Okay.
Said for those wondering, the Q1 opening segment featured Mercedes Monet brought in over 1 million viewers. It doesn't give me the
Okay.
exact number.
Okay. I'm sure The Big Bang Theory had something to do with that also.
You remember how many I said they had though as an average?
7 something. Yeah.
Yeah, 7.
Is it
Well,
740?
oh, I'm sorry. They pulled this one. This one is saying 801,000.
Okay.
But if they started out at over 1 million
That's
and
that's
the
not good.
average, okay, the main event, which should be your highest drawing thing on the show, correct?
Okay, and this is Riho versus Willow.
Yes. Averaged only 627,000 viewers.
Oh, oh, that hurts my parts.
That's
Come on, Tony.
that's
That's not good.
jeez.
That's cancel level.
That is cancel
That's
level.
lose your time slot level of viewership.
So I'll have to listen to Corny to get the actual ones, but yeah, that's
I mean, you know, Discovery's got to be looking at these numbers.
they
I
gotta
know
be.
that ratings are kind of a flawed metric in TV these days because of all the YouTube and the social media and all that stuff. But if somebody, one of the big wigs from Discovery, looks and sees 600 some thousand people watching your what's supposed to be your hottest segment in the show, there's somebody's got to start wondering.
Yeah.
And it's not like
600
they
600. Let me read that again just to make sure I read it right. But it says, well, now it disappeared on me.
yeah,
Sounds about right.
and we're not saying this to pick on Tony here.
No,
This is just straight up. This is how we look at it. And
627,000. And that's not even saying what was in the key demo.
Right. And I don't get that whole thing. It's like the wins above replacement statistic in baseball. It's just, it's all Greek to me. But
Hmm.
so you put Riho and Will in main event and they get 600 something. They don't have a lot of real quality main eventers that can draw a big rating on their show. I mean, they had Punk. I mean, they fucked that up. I mean,
Well,
Jericho
and they,
maybe back in the first year.
I say it's not Jericho anymore.
It could have been Cody back in the first couple years.
In the
But
first couple of years, you had Cody, you had Brody, you
yeah,
had
they had Moxley when he was
you,
still not done yet.
you had Moxley and Kingston in a tag team.
Yeah. Hmm.
That was fun.
Had Paige when he
Um,
was over.
Page Page before he started wearing butterflies on his jeans. Um,
Before he got the mustache.
fa- Hangman Magnum, whatever his name is. But no, I mean, when you look at who, again, it goes back to AEW has the talent. We're not
They're
saying they
loaded.
don't have the talent. They're loaded. The problem is Tony doesn't know how to book it.
And it's not even the fact that it's not like famous names. They have guys that they could build into something. They they could have made Mark Briscoe the hottest babyface in the company if they wanted to.
Easily. They could have made Pillman Jr. a really big baby face.
I mean, if they wanted to bring the Von Erichsen full time, they could be their top tag team.
Jay Lethal.
Oh, don't get me started on Jay Lethal and what they've done with him. But I mean, if you book a feud between the Von Erichs and FTR,
Thank you. Yes, please. Quit
there's your
teasing me
main
with a
event.
good time.
There's your main event there
But Tony, the EVPs don't like FTR.
because they're jealous.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, let's listen to AJ here. In the early years, they had the buzz of being a hot new thing. Yes, the buzz has worn off, and they don't know how to cook the steak to back up the sizzle. I like that. That's a good way to put it.
That's a Vince
But
McMahon saying.
but I mean, that's one of the few things that Vince says that I'm down with.
Right?
It's a good way to look at it. But it's something I said when AEW first started and they were beating NXT in the ratings on Wednesdays.
It was all
They
because they
weren't
were
get
the new toy.
exactly. They weren't beating them for having a better in-ring product because NXT had a better in-ring product than Raw and SmackDown,
Yeah.
much less AEW.
Well, no, because that would have been right when 2.0 started.
No. This is about a year before that. This is when they had Undisputed Era and Ciampa and Balor. And
Okay. Balor hadn't went up yet? I thought Balor had already went up.
he'd gone up and come back down.
Okay.
But this is around the time of that Survivor Series when NXT was involved.
When they won.
When they, well, most of it, Roman had to win.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But they won everything else that had anything to do
Yeah.
with.
Roddy beat AJ and Nakamura in that match in a three-way.
Mm-hmm. And take
But
into consideration that the guys that were in the Survivor Series match had all done war games the night before.
Most of them, yeah, except for Walter.
Except for Walter. He was the
No,
only one that hadn't.
No. Keith Lee also. Walter and Keith Lee were not in War Games.
Well, Keith Lee can't stay healthy anymore, so.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it was like
But I'm
Ciampa
like,
and Riddle and.
I'm like you though.
shit.
Who in AEW do they have right now to even put up against Joe that it's believable?
Keep talking about that reboot mindset.
Oh, okay. I mean, you've got right. AJ actually watched the Survivor Series the other day. That was a good time. It was a great time. That was one of my favorite Survivor Series, other than old school where Survivor Series were actually Survivor Series. But when you think about it, okay, so your big names right now are who? They're Swerve. Okay. Swerve is still kind of a heel, kind of a baby face. They don't really know where to put him.
Hang on, who's that now? It just like glitched on me when I was
Swerve.
rebooting. Okay.
Swerve.
Yeah, Swerve. They don't know what they're doing.
They don't know
He's
what they're
got the
doing.
heel manager and the heel group, but he's the
And he
hottest
does the
babyface they
heel
got.
things. And he does the heel things. but he's the one that makes everybody pop.
Hmm.
So either build you up a baby face, which Joe's not a baby face. Joe will never be a baby face.
No, Joe's a heel. He's
He's a
full heel.
heel. He can't do anything but heel. I don't like Joe as a baby face. Who else do you have in AEW that could be a
Osprey,
main? Well, yeah, but right now he's
but Osprey's
proving
in the same boat.
himself. Yeah,
Osprey's in the same boat as Swerve. He's a babyface in the Callis family,
right.
and he's the only people he's wrestling are other members of the Callis family.
Exactly.
Now, not saying those weren't really good matches because they
Those are
were.
great
The match with
matches.
Takeshita and the one with Fletcher.
Fletcher was
But
better than Takeshita in my opinion, but that's
yeah,
just me.
I'm going to only assume that the next match he has is going to be Hobbs.
I thought it was Danielson.
Well, that's for the pay-per-view.
Oh,
But would Callis put him with Hobbs on TV before that?
I don't know.
And
Who else we
I'm
got in the
very.
Callis family? Who else we got over there?
I think that's it because Sammy was in it, but he's out.
Stupid reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could always put him against Jericho, but
Yeah.
what good's that going to do?
Jericho's wrestling his friend's sons at this point, so
I know. And I'm over it.
yeah, maybe a little bit.
Well, he's got to
Can
see
I?
who's he has to see who has the most pull right now because that's whose
I'm
coattails he's
surprised.
going to ride.
I'm surprised he hasn't tried to get something going with Swerve.
Yeah, me too.
I will say this though, Osprey and Danielson scares me to death because both of those guys are super fragile.
Yeah.
Like we're talking, if one Fabergé egg bumps into another one, what's going to happen?
Yes. But it is. I mean, what do you do? That's our. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Put Osprey against Mox? Dear God, please no.
I'd rather see Osprey and Claudio.
How about Osprey and Kingston? There's two totally different.
Well, Kingston, he's got Okada right now.
Oh, that's right.
He's in his I'm about to
Because he's
drop all
going to
my
drop
belts
that belt
run.
to Okada and then drop the other one to
Briscoe.
Briscoe. Does he get to keep the third?
I would imagine. At least until somebody else pops up that's worthy. But yeah, I mean, Osprey, he's definitely working a smarter style since his neck surgery, but he still does the occasional stupid things like that turnbuckle brainbuster thing that they completely whiffed on at the pay-per-view.
AJ, you shut your mouth. We already shot down Jericho.
Oh, Jericho. Well, let's talk about another match that we've got to look forward to, Minderz, on Wednesday. We have the rubber, well, I guess technically rubber match, Copeland and Christian Cage for the TNT Championship. I Quit match.
No.
And
No. Even Adam Copeland is pissing me off now.
yeah, it's he has a new friend.
Stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid.
This is the handheld weapon version of the exploding barbed wire match.
And it's going to go poof.
It's so look at this. So this is Spike. It's a
I'm
2x4.
I'm glad this is the picture you have and not the one where they put the camera to the back of it because that was dumb.
Yeah, because there's nothing on the back side.
Nope.
Hang on.
It's so dumb.
It is. I mean, it just looks weak. It's just because take by comparison. What's the first thing? Because we were all watching a Collision at AJ's house on Saturday.
Yep.
When he busted this thing out, and what's
we
the
all
first thing
groaned.
we said? We all groaned and we said this is like a bad knockoff of Janice.
Yep.
For all you TNA fans out there, and for those that don't know, this is Janice. Look at that thing.
See, look how cool Janice looks.
All the way around, bigger nails, bigger 2x4.
All the way down.
I mean, it looks huge when Abyss is holding it. Just To put it in that
Hmm.
perspective.
Now we have Spike.
Yes. This reminds me. Do you remember the Backlash match, Orton and McFoley from
Well,
like
yeah.
2004?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I coined the phrase the Toronto toothbrush on Saturday to describe Spike.
That was what you
I'm
called
I'm, I'm proud of that.
it.
But it was basically Orton pretty much brand new as a heel in a hardcore match with Foley. This was their way of testing him to see if he had it.
This is when he
And
started getting the Legend Killer,
yeah,
wasn't it?
but
Yeah.
yeah. So so Foley has Barbie, the baseball bat with the barbed wire. It looks awesome.
Hmm.
Great looking weapon. Orton pulls out this little flimsy 2x4 with like a little strand of barbed wire wrapped maybe 2 or 3 times around it. It looked horrible. Like he wanted to give the guy a hug. It's like, dude, like, oh honey.
That's
And
one
that's
of my
what,
things. Oh, honey.
but that's what Spike reminds me of.
Yeah.
This cockamamie 2x4 that
Yeah, because we all looked at it and we were like,
like really,
what? And then I think we all yelled at them for like, no, 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 don't show the back of it.
yeah.
Ugh.
It's just so just just makes you. There's so much stuff that makes you cringe when they try to do cool stuff in AEW because they do it wrong.
And I get what they're doing. I get that Adam and Christian want to have their last run together or whatever. I
Right.
understand.
And it could be good.
It could it could be
Could
good,
be.
but
Could be.
stop with all the bullshittery.
It's like I know there's always people talk about the Big Bang Theory because that's the lead into Dynamite. There's an episode that I remember where all of Sheldon's friends went someplace else to hang out and he was stuck with like other people and
Mm,
he wound up just leaving his apartment and going to where his friends were and he said, I had to leave. They were having fun wrong.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
how I feel Tony Khan is doing with AEW. He's doing wrestling wrong.
Hmm.
And he's got all the toys. He's got all the people he needs to have a really good show.
Now, my
But
question is this whole idea was this whole idea Adam and Christian's idea, or is this Tony's idea
I think it was Adam and Christian's idea to have the match. I think it was Tony's idea to bring in the fuckery.
to gimmick it up?
I'm willing to bet that Tony brought that friggin' 2x4 in with the biggest smile on his face as he thought he did something good because he probably put it together in his basement.
He probably just got done watching Impact that day.
He may have, but just good lord.
Because
I
it's
mean,
amazing how many of these things look like the items that you originally see were for Amazon, and the items you see from Tony are from Wish.
uh-huh. Wish.com Janice is another name for the Tornado toothbrush.
There you go. I don't.
Yeah. Hey, Menders, what do you say we shift gears?
Okay.
Uh,
Is our guest
okay,
here?
so oh no,
Oh,
not yet. But
okay.
there was some more news that broke on social media this week about the WrestleMania weekend, where apparently some WWE talent is being allowed to work other other shows on WrestleMania weekend.
I'm actually
And
really excited about this.
yes, I get the Triller Plus, so this I may be able to get this show. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But if but anyway, so they announced Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, which is like the no rope like fight pit show that he does every year. It's more
Uh-huh.
catch wrestling kind of. But anyway, he put a call into his buddy Triple H because from what you told me, they are friends,
They are friends.
and they got this match to happen, and this is the only match they've announced so far.
I'm
So
excited about this match.
Shayna Baszler, and Masha Slamovich. I almost said Sasha because we were talking about Mercedes so much earlier.
Yeah.
Do you like the placement in the corner, Minders?
Yeah, beautiful. He Wait, put Tony back up there. He looks like a little poof in her hair.
He looks like the Great Kazoo.
Uh-huh.
Hello, dum dum.
Hello, dum-dum.
My
But yeah,
goodness.
I'm excited for this
Yeah,
match.
and they said that there's going to be more talent for the show, so I'm very curious to see who else is going to go. I'm
I'm
going to assume it's not
hoping,
people. I'm going to assume it's not anybody booked for WrestleMania.
right. There was one I'm hoping maybe Dijak. Maybe.
Maybe the Creeds.
Maybe.
Hey, the Creeds put on a hell of a show last night against DIY.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, you're giggling. I need to see what the comment says.
Yeah, you do.
All right.
I'm intrigued.
All right. This is not the only match they've announced so far. The full card on Instagram also features Timothy Thatcher versus Axel Fisher for the former Alexander Wolf. For all you Imperium fans from back in the day. And then Akira is also on the card. So, okay. I figured Akira
Well,
would be there because he's married to Masha Slimovic, so that makes sense.
and Alexander Wolf was in Sanity.
Yes.
If you don't
Before he
remember
was
him
in
from
Imperium.
Imperium. Yeah, I was gonna say he was in Sanity. He was one of my.
Yeah.
I liked him in Sanity.
I like Sanity as a group.
That's one group I wish they bring back, but they won't. But whatever.
Yeah. Well, wasn't Madman Fulton in that group before they got Damo?
I don't remember.
I want to say he was the original heavy in
Might be
Imperium
might be
or
in
in
the
Sanity.
original one, but I'm talking the NXT Sanity. So you had Eric Young, you had um
Alexander Wolf,
Alexander
then
Wolf,
Damo.
Big Hairy Bastard.
I forget his name in NXT, but he's Big Damo in the
Well,
Indies.
Big Hairy
And then,
Bastard
yeah, and then Nikki Cross.
and Nikki Cross. Damo sounds right though, yeah. Well, I've always called him the Big Hairy Bastard, but
Well, he is what he is. You know,
he is.
where was he for that Meat Mania match Big E wanted to have?
Who knows? I was thinking he's off somewhere again.
He's,
I don't remember.
no, I think he's back in Scotland.
Oh,
I think
is
he's
he?
working the. I think he's working the Indies in the UK. Ooh,
Ooh.
Nick Nemeth versus Mike Bailey. Oh wow, thank you. I'm down. And then Minoru Suzuki versus Royce Isaacs. Also look for that card. Royce Isaacs, I know him from the NWA. He was Tom Latimer's tag partner in the Wild Cards when they first brought Power back. But Suzuki, I think, is a regular. Plus, he's good friends with Barnett too, so it's not hard for him to get booked. AJ fact checking as always. Yes, Madman Fulton was Insanity. He got injured and was replaced by Killian Dane. That
Killian
was
Dane.
Damo's name.
That was the name I was looking for.
Thank you, AJ.
Right? I'm so glad we have our
Yes, our fact checker who had a birthday this
fact checker.
weekend.
He did.
Happy belated to our buddy AJ.
And we all got, well, not all of us, but 3 of us proceeded to get a little intoxicated for his birthday.
Maybe a touch.
We weren't bad though. We were all pretty
Yeah, I spent most of the time
tame.
playing. I spent most of my time playing with the cat. But
Well, the one kept throwing his tail or throwing her tail in your ear, so that was pretty
yes,
funny.
and the other one kept turning off the PlayStation when we were trying to fantasy
Yeah,
book
so we
the
gave so we gave
2K24.
up.
He made his point.
He did. He's like, "Screw you guys."
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, Minderz, you want to play a quick game called Name This Wrestler?
Sure.
All right. Tell me if you know who this is.
I have no idea.
I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
He's a former world heavyweight champion.
Okay.
He once beat Hulk Hogan for a heavyweight championship.
Okay.
He didn't have hair when he won the world title.
Goldberg? I don't know.
That is Bill Goldberg.
Are you serious?
Yes. Look at that guy. He looks like he's about to sell you a car at his uncle's dealership.
He does. I see. I should have just waited for Jabari to tell me.
Is he in there? Oh,
Oh, you know how many times he has turned off the PS5 since Saturday? 0 times. Jackass did it like 3 times within 20 minutes.
it was always when you were doing stuff too.
I know, a little jerk.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, so that concludes. That may have to be a regular. So I'll just bring up a random picture of somebody from back in the day. Have you try to guess who it is?
Some of them will be easy. Some of them won't
Some.
be so easy.
I thought that was going to be easy.
Well, it was the hair and then the
The
mustache.
the mustache, yes,
Yeah.
and the smile,
Yeah. It's weird and creepy and slimy and yeah.
smarmy.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's what do we say we do our good hoot and our good Judy this week, Minders?
Okay.
All right. There we go. Good hoot of the week.
Okay.
You know, when I put the graphic up, it looks like this segment is sponsored by BrainbusterTees.com.
Kind of does.
But anyway, okay. So our good hoots. Do you want to go first this time, Minders?
Sure, why not? My good hoot of the week, and that's only because he cracked me up last night on Raw, is R-Truth. And he was asking who what's the group that gender.
Into sure.
Yeah, and
He's
he's
like,
like
I wouldn't want to be
that.
the guys wrestling those guys.
Yeah, I would be the guy wrestling those guys. That one guy's hairy. I was like,
And then the way he got the
oh
pin, he just
yeah,
got knocked out and landed on the guy.
right. That okay. I don't think that could have ended any better because that was freaking brilliant.
That was perfect.
Because I feel like this whole thing's gonna be that Truth and Miz just kind of luck into all of it.
Yet the Miz gets in spite of R-Truth's uh, bumblings. And when the Miz finally turns heel again, it's going to be nuclear heat because he's going to turn on R-Truth.
It will be, and it'll be great.
Yes. Well, my good hoot this week, Minders, is from the Wrestling Revolver show that I just finished watching. Our buddy Gringo Loco, you see him there with our other buddy Cat Carter there, Minders.
Yay!
But Gringo won the Wrestling Revolver Remix Championship over the weekend in a match
Very
that also
nice.
included our friend Warhorse, among
You mean
others.
Jake Parnell?
Well, the Warhorse Jake Parnell is how he's being introduced.
Is that how he's being introduced now?
Yes, but no, it was a good match. It was a 6-man scramble, so a lot of fuckery, but it is what it is.
I wouldn't expect anything less. I'm sorry, but anything Gringo's in is usually never a one-on-one.
Now he
At
does a lot
least
of the
nothing.
lucha kind of scramble matches.
Yeah, nothing I've seen has he been one-on-one.
He's had some one-on-ones that are pretty good in GCW. He actually pulled a decent match out of Moxley at Revolver not too long ago, one-on-one.
Impressive. Not many people can do that.
That's true. But no, we love Gringo. He's a friend of the show and one of my favorite guys to watch. I love his finish, that spinning power bomb off the top rope.
Is he still Dreamwave champ, or did he lose that?
I don't know.
I mean, I know he's not the heavyweight champ, but he had one of their belts. Because the
Yeah,
heavyweight
it wasn't.
champ is still friend of
Still
ours,
Christian Rose, isn't
Christian Rose. Yep.
it? Yeah.
Did we go see any?
Uh,
No, we didn't go see any other wrestling this weekend other than 0-1, did we?
no, we did 0-1 on Friday. Then Saturday we hung out at AJ's and watched
That's right.
WCW from 1996, which was a
Bunch
refreshing
of
blast from
different
the
ones.
past.
It
Oh,
was.
I loved the Sting Regal match though. Regal beat the piss out of Sting for 15 minutes, and then Sting got the win.
Yeah. No, I think my favorite was on Starrcade. What was the opener? It was
Dragon and Malenko, Ultimo Dragon and Dean
yeah.
Malenko.
Yeah. That one was probably one of my favorites.
The one to unify the 9 titles.
Yes.
Yes. Well,
So
Minders,
good.
we did our good hoot. Should we do our good Judy of the week also then?
Sure.
All right. And since you were first on the hoot, I'll let you go first on the Judy.
Well, I'm kind of disappointed because Dwayne's not in the chat, but he's not gonna like my answer.
Uh-oh.
I was pretty excited that Becky took out Nia last night.
That was.
It was not a bad match.
I think that was Nia's best match since she's been back up on Raw.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not saying much, but
Yeah, I mean,
But they
it's like
told a
being
good
a nice
story in
guy in
that
prison.
match, though.
They did.
Well, yeah. Nia beat the crap out of Becky for most of that match and got good heat. And then Becky fired up, and they had fuckery, but in the right spots in that match.
Well, but it was a last man or last woman standing match, so there should have been fuckery.
Well,
I mean,
yeah. I mean, if Becky's going to win, she's going to have to do a leg drop off the top of a ladder through a table.
exactly. Now let's just hope she didn't hurt herself too bad that she's gonna have more
Yeah,
problems with mommy. But whatever.
right. Well, we got the stare down at the end of Raw between Becky
We
and Rhea.
did.
Rhea looked very confident.
She is very
Becky looked
confident.
angry. Becky just seemed angry.
Yeah. I thought there at one point Rhea was gonna kiss her forehead. It kind of cracked me up.
Yeah, I had to think she was coming out because she hadn't been out on in the arena the entire show. Like she
No.
did the brief backstage thing with Judgment
Well,
Day.
how about this? After you give your good Judy, and then we'll discuss Raw from last night since we have a few more minutes before our guest should be here.
All right. So my good Judy is from NXT, and I'm giving it to Roxanne Perez.
All right.
She's turned heel from the looks of it in NXT, and she cut a pretty darn good promo last week, just kind of giving her mission statement, as if you will.
Well, Booker was always better as a heel too, so that doesn't surprise me.
You think so?
I
Well,
liked Booker as a heel.
do you prefer like regular Booker as a heel or King Booker?
Regular Booker. I'm talking
I did
WCW
I did
Harlem
love
Heat.
King Booker though.
Well, King Booker was just somebody you'd love to hate. So, I mean, it's kind of like JBL once he turned millionaire.
Hmm.
Yeah, I get it. It's just I like heel
Oh,
Booker
that's good stuff.
better.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I love heel Harlem Heat though, so I'm with
Oh
you.
yeah.
Uh, but no, Roxanne, I'm curious to see where they're gonna go because I don't know that I've seen her as a heel, even when she was
She
like in Ring of
hasn't been.
Honor.
She's always been babyface.
Yeah, so I'm curious. I wouldn't hate seeing when Cora Jade comes back, see them team up again, form some sort of an alliance.
But this time Cora go babyface. Although I don't know because Cora is really good as a heel too.
She's really good as a heel,
Hmm.
which I didn't think she had it in her when she was a baby face. When she had the
She
skateboard
reminds
and
she reminds me a lot of Paige. A lot of Paige. Back when Paige was good. Just her
I can see it.
demeanor, her yeah.
She's kind of a blend of all three of the outcasts because she had Tony's hat, and she had Ruby's tattoos, and then Paige's general demeanor.
Yep.
And what the hell are they doing with Ruby Soho on AEW?
I don't know.
I thought
I don't know.
I thought that we were done with the soap opera kind of Degrassi Junior High storylines in
They just
AEW because
hired the new soap opera writer. Duh.
I know, but I mean they were like when they started they were supposed to be the alternative, but now they're just doing WWE storylines. Oh, AJ says never forget COVID robbed us of an ROH with our Roxanne as the champion and an undefeated Max the Impaler headed her way. That would have been awesome. I would
I would
feel
have been
very
a little
bad for
confused.
Roxy
I
if
was gonna say I would have felt really bad for Roxy.
oh my goodness.
We
So let's
we've
talk.
seen Max in person. We've seen Max.
Yes, and Max is, I guess, intimidating would be an understatement. I'm talking about Max the Impaler.
Yeah.
We got uh, Mad Dog yelled at us on Friday, telling us to move, and we got up pretty much instantly.
I left my purse. That was how quick I moved.
Oh my goodness. Well, Minders, it looks like our guest has arrived. Why don't we go ahead and bring him in here, and then we'll go from there. So everyone say hello to you call him anything, so he'll always be the impact bully to me. Pauly Thomaselli, how are you, sir?
Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad we were able to make it happen this time.
I know it's. I apologize about that last time, man.
Oh no, you're good.
I feel like I never stop. I always have something going on to the point where I even had to come on later than what you wanted me to tonight because I do. I coach middle school wrestling, so I was doing our awards night tonight, so we were doing that.
Yeah.
So here I am now. I'm going to pick up my daughter. I'm going to make sure she's quiet in the background as soon as I pick her up, and we'll go from there.
There you go. Sounds good.
So I actually first was aware of you when you were in IWA with Vito and Sal doing the Iron Stain
Yeah,
stuff, and
long time ago.
a long time ago. This was back when I was living up in the suburbs. And I always say I would put the Iron Saints up with just about any other tag team in the Indies at the time, as far as how good you guys were, whether it was a tag team or as a trio.
Thank
And
you, man. That means a lot.
so I know Vito trained with Michael Modest and Donovan Morgan. Am I right? In
Yes.
Colorado, and
No, in
then
in California.
in California. Okay. And
Yes.
now, did you follow him there, or did you wait and then he trained you?
No, I started in 2003, and he was kind of finishing up out there at that time. So I started training in Chicago. I was with PCW, trained under John Burke and Tony Scarpone, and
Okay.
then through working, getting my original training there in '03, and then in '04 I started training with Eric Priest and the Underground School of Pro Wrestling. Kind of because we all left PCW and started AAW, and then from there, I was kind of starting to branch out a little bit. I started in April. I had my first match with PCW in June. By September, I was starting to work for RCW, which is now Dreamwave, and kind of branching out through Dreamwave and those bookings. I met DDS and Priest and those guys, and then I started work for MSPW. And then I found out that Priest School was like 10 minutes from my house at the time. So he was like, "Hey man, anytime you want to come by and do," he was like, "I'd love to have you." I was like, "Oh, that'd be fantastic." So I always say I got trained by PCW and kind of a little retrained by Eric Priest, and then I was fortunate enough to be on the road with guys like Danny Daniels and Ryan Boz and Brad Bradley, and then my brothers. So
Yeah.
I had a pretty good gambit of different styles, different opinions, different a lot of differences in the business that kind of brought what Brandon Thomaselli was to be who he was, and now here I am as Pauly.
Yeah. So I'm curious, what brought on the name change? Because I remember you as Brandon for a long
Yeah,
time, and
yeah,
then I go to a Pro Wrestling Blitz show about 5 years ago, and you're teaming up with Hardcore Craig doing Hardcore Impact,
yes,
and they say
yeah.
Pauly Thomaselli. I'm like, wait a minute.
You're like, there's another one, man.
Yeah.
Those guys are like gremlins; they just multiply. Um, so we were working for the Insane Clown Posse and started with them in 2008, and then Violent J came up to us as a group the one day. This was in '09, and he goes, "Hey, I got to talk to you guys about something." And I didn't know if we were getting fired. I didn't know if we were gonna get brought out on more tours. I didn't know. We didn't really know what was going on. And he just looks at me and goes, "I hate the name Brandon Thomaselli." And I was like, "Oh, I'm getting fired. Great, great. He'll
Yeah.
keep Vito and
Oh
Sal,
no.
which is fine. Like, they I just rode their coattails anyway, so it's cool." Um, and we were like, "Okay." He's like, "So we want to change your name." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Like that's fine. That's fine." In my head, looking back now, I remember being a little bit more tough about it. Like, no, I've been doing this for 6 years under Brandon. Like, I'm not changing my name. And it's like I remember Vito going, "Dumbass, like this is a huge opportunity for us. Don't screw it up." And so they gave me three choices: Vinny, Junior, or Pauly. And I hate the name Vinny. I just didn't like it. I was like, nope, nope, not doing that. Junior, I'm the youngest, so I shouldn't be the junior. I wouldn't be a junior in a real, in a family. Not to mention Vito's a junior, so that was just weird for me. And then I chose Pauly because my grandpa's name's Paul, and my
Okay.
cousin, who's like, can I swear on this show or no?
Yeah, you sure
Oh yeah. Go
can.
ahead.
My cousin Paul's a shit. All right, he's the definition of a cooler than the other side of the pillow. Like he's awesome. And so for them to be like, yeah, we want to change it to Pauly, I was like, all right, if I have to change my name, I'll do that. And then I'm like, well, I'll be like Josh Abercrombie. Josh was, Josh Abercrombie everywhere else, but then at JCW he was Billy Bong. So I was like, I can just do that. And then I'm like, oh, there's Brandon Pauly. Screw it. I'm just gonna change my name everywhere I go. And so then the
Yeah.
first time I debuted as Pauly was for POW when I came to
Mm,
POW, I believe in 2009.
mm.
Okay.
Yeah, crazy.
This is the second podcast we've done in a week where Josh Abercrombie has come up in conversation.
I
We
love
had
that guy, man.
on our 0-1 show, we had Zach Hendricks on last week
Okay.
from up in the Milwaukee area, and he was
Yeah.
talking about Josh Raymond is the name he dropped, but
Yeah. I don't know that
Ed.
guy. I only know Josh Abercrombie.
there you go, the mustache.
Kayfabe.
But, yes, but man, he was always one of my favorite guys to watch. Just I know you guys have a similar background with the amateur wrestling, and you guys teamed up for a while too, back when you were
We
both
did.
young and hungry.
We did. We started off as the BJ Express. Brandon and Josh. So yeah, BJ Express.
Right? Sure,
That
of
was
course.
cool.
Uh-huh.
And then some shady shenanigans happened out in Iowa one day when we had just recently both turned 21. So we became 21 and irresponsible. So,
Perfect. Perfect.
yeah, we didn't have a lot of matches, which is probably a good thing for both of us. So we were both still alive today. But we definitely had a lot of fun. Definitely had a lot of fun against Vito and Sal. Those
Oh,
two,
sure.
as far as mentors and putting these together, we learned a lot to structure tag matches together with that. So that was a lot of fun. And learn a
Yeah.
lot. And then we it was like me and Josh against Vito and Sal, against Merrick Brave and Tyler Black, and I'll drop his name too. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, there you
So
Yeah.
it was
There you go.
cool, It was really cool. Funny story. My girlfriend just now in January became a wrestling fan. We've been together a year
Oh,
and a
yeah?
half now. Yeah. And I told her when we first got together, because you guys, if you see me wrestle, you know my personality. I think I'm awesome, right? And I jokingly told her, like, hey, babe, I'm kind of a big deal. And she's like, yeah, whatever, This asshole, like, oh God, why am I giving this guy a second date, And and so now she started going to a few wrestling shows, and she knows a couple of the guys and things, and Craig and everyone. And I like my Acid, she loves Acid. She loves when we team up together and stuff. And so in January, she wanted to go to her brother's house on a Saturday night, and I was like, that's fine. But when we get home, I'm watching Royal Rumble. It's one of my favorite pay-per-views.
Mhm.
I just please, just give me, a few hours after we get home to watch. She's like, not a problem. That's fine. And I was like, all right, cool. So we get home and she's doing things. I don't even put anything away. I take my shoes off, I put comfy pants on, and I jump on the couch and I put the Peacock Network on, and I'm watching Royal Rumble, right? Like, sorry, I'm not helping out. I want to do this. Total asshole move. So she gets into the women's Royal Rumble and she's asking questions, how does it work? What about this? What about that? And I'm, telling her how it works. And then by the time the guys came out, she's watching it. She's on her phone. She's watching it. She's on her phone. And finally she goes, babe, am I going to know anyone in this Royal Rumble? And all of a sudden you hear adrenaline in my soul. It's Cody. Smoke coming out the deal, right?
Uh-huh.
He comes out. I'm like, you're gonna know this guy. She's like, Cody Rhodes. Last year she watched the Dusty Rhodes documentary with me. So she saw Cody speak and Dustin speak on the documentary. So she's like, I want him to win. I'm like, I want him to win too. All right. So let's so I looked at her and I said, listen, don't you jinx this for me. Like, don't jinx Cody winning this Royal Rumble, okay? I won't. I'm like, so when it came down to Punk and Cody, I was like, they're gonna put Punk over. They're gonna fucking put Punk. I know it. You did this. She's like, I just don't want Punk to win. I don't want Punk to win. I'm like, you're the only woman in Chicago that doesn't want Punk to win right now.
Right.
So
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
kind of a telltale for me when he came out at number 27. I was like, shit, he came out at the number. Shit.
Yep, that's the number, right? That's the
Uh-huh.
winning number. You're like, I don't want this.
Yep.
I don't want this. Yeah. So, and I'm not that guy in Chicago that, like, there's a lot of dudes out there that'll bash Punk and tell their whole life story about why they hate him and stuff. I don't hate the guy. I just didn't want him to win the Royal Rumble. I wanted, I'm a Cody Rhodes mark. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a
Yeah.
Cody crybaby?
no, I'm not a Cody crybaby. I'm a fan of Cody Rhodes. So hang on, time out real quick. I got to take a breather.
Okay.
All right.
Mark, why don't we pay some bills?
All right, let's pay some bills real quick here. While,
Okay.
we're waiting.
That'll give him a chance to get things set up.
All right, here we go. All right. That, that worked out to give us a chance to pay some bills real quick there. So
Nice. Gotta pay the bills.
got to pay the bills. The hustle is real, as you well know.
Oh yes,
So
yes I do.
so I was watching WWE Most Wanted Treasures, whatever that show's called, and imagine my surprise when I see them show up at they're looking for JYD's collar, and I think
Yeah,
it was Mark Henry and AJ Francis, and they go to
it was
McHenry,
Booker T.
Illinois. I'm like, oh wait, that was Booker T.
It
Okay,
was Booker T. Yeah,
but
they were
they
in Plainfield at Vito's.
then all of a sudden I see the door open and there's Vito. I'm like, holy
Yeah,
crap! I
yeah,
didn't know
yeah.
that
That's
Vito
one of
was
the.
a
I think that's one of
collector.
the Iron Saints. Yeah, no, and if you listen to that, it was if you listen to what he said, like that was my grandpa had that. We had no idea about it or nothing like that. We had no freaking clue, and didn't know if it was if he was full of shit or not. But turned out it was legit. We learned that later down the road. Well, yeah, no. So Vito had that, and he was able to sell it to Booker T. And what's AJ Francis? He said his name was. I can't remember the guy's name, but
Yeah,
yeah,
top
no,
dollar.
they came
Top
top dollar.
top
Yeah,
dollar.
they literally came to his house. What I marked out the most for was though, you saw some of my old drawings from when I was in high school that I drew of Vito as Airborne or as Vito Tomaselli with the iron logo and stuff from California. I'm like, hey, that's my painting. Like, oh yeah, hey, that's the colored pencil drawing I did. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
Come on, put me over.
Yeah, put me over, man. Yeah, what the hell? Hey, tell Booker about ask Booker if he remembers that time he managed me. Come on, come on. So he didn't ask him about that though, so that pissed me off. How dare you?
Oh my goodness.
All right, so I got a question.
Shoot.
What have been some of your favorite wrestling matches as a fan that you've seen?
Oh, that I've seen. Okay, I was like, oh man, that I've seen. Um, Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man career-ending match WrestleMania 7
Okay.
is by far one of my most favorite matches. Those are my guys. Especially if you look at my
Oh, I
outfits, you can just
remember.
tell right away. Yeah,
I remember.
yeah. I have their Hasbro figures tattooed on my leg now. Yeah. Vito tattooed the Warrior one. I did the Macho Man one myself. So yeah, no, that match to me, just the way the structure's put together, everything. And I'm also gonna say WrestleMania 6, Hogan and Warrior. Again, I'm a huge Warrior mark, believe it or not.
Right.
So there's that. And
Couldn't tell
then
by your outfit.
no, yeah, no, not at all.
Couldn't tell by the gear. Not at all.
No, no, no. RVD and Jerry Lynn, any one of their matches, just put it on
Oh
tape and
yeah.
watch it. I want to say it was Heatwave '97 for me, and in my opinion, that match where they were doing all the chain wrestling to a spot, back to a chain wrestling, to a full blown like flippy dippy back flip, this, that, boom, bip, bip, like that to me changed the indies at that point. And that
Yeah.
made everyone start doing all these really cool kick ass spots that people weren't necessarily doing. And
Yeah.
I give credit to those guys, whatever, that credibility is worth, but I give credit to those guys for that because they really did bring it and killed it and made it, what it became.
Yeah. That's what I
I was
love
only
is
13
because
at the time, but it was awesome.
oh yeah. But yeah, you go back and you watch those matches. Like there was like what 3 pay-per-views in a row where they wrestled, and every match like successively they would add more counters to the
and and and
counters.
and as someone that can't remember anything, anyways, I put together very little into my matches. Most of my stuff's all ad libbed in the ring, and we call it on the fly because it's not because I think I'm cool or I have to do that. It's because I can't remember a lot of things. So I
Yeah.
just have horrible short-term memory,
Right.
and I wish I could say I've been hitting the head too many times. If that's not the case, I'm just dumb. So to put a bunch of things together, I was like, we'll just have a good go home sequence. Let's kind of just call it and have some fun. Like we've been doing this long enough now.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, no, those guys, like you said, they would literally add on and then add on and then add it on. You're like, how did you do that? Like, how the hell did you guys do that? So great
Yeah.
stuff.
Yes.
ECW was great, man. I mean, that really, um, I've been more excited when I've been on my, like indie shows that when ECW guys come in compared to like Carlito came in one time. I was like, fuck him. Like, like, who gives a shit about this? Give him an apple. Cool. Like, whatever. And he was kind of a douche anyways, and I don't know if he had a bad day or what. I mean, because everyone's entitled to have a bad day here and there, but I just, like, once I saw him, I was like, no, you're a douche. You're a douche.
Well,
I'm
how
sure he's a
about
great
this?
guy, but
What's
still.
your feelings on Just Incredible?
I never had a bad time with Just Incredible.
We've had
And
him on
now,
the podcast twice. He's one of our
yeah,
favorites.
I would say I'm looking at myself on the screen now. I'm like, holy shit, I look like Just Incredible with the bald head and the beard and stuff. But
Hey,
uh,
Well,
he
here, Mark's gonna make you feel better. There you go.
we were at Totally Tool Wrestling too. If you guys remember those Totally
Hmm.
Tool Wrestling, Joe Eastman put them on. So
uh,
I'm getting my face painted like Ultimate Warrior because Vito and I were recreating. It was supposed to be WrestleMania 6 Part 2,
Yeah.
but Vito came out as Hollywood Hogan. He said, "No, this isn't WrestleMania 6, brother. It's
oh no,
Halloween
it's Halloween
Havoc,
Havoc.
and you're gonna job to me, motherfucker," whatever he said. And
Just
so, but what we did was I gimmicked up his pants because I make all of our I made all of our gear. So I gimmicked up his pants. So at one point I could rip them off. And what he had the yellow trunks with the red knee pads underneath. And then I'm like, it's WrestleMania 6. Ah! And then yeah, went Warrior style went over on him. So it was pretty
Nice.
funny. But that
just tell me
day,
the flash paper worked.
yeah, the last minute we're putting our stuff together and we're doing blah 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 and something about everybody's got a price that was said. And Just Incredible walks by. Everyone's got a price. He goes, "Yeah, mine's 250. Who's booking me next?" And like, just it was in Midlothian, and just walked right out the door. I was like, "That guy's awesome!" Like he was always super cool to be around. He was never that guy that was like, "Oh man, I've been in all the big companies. Like bow down to me," or like none of that. Like, he
No,
was
no.
always super
Yeah.
super cool. So yeah, no, Just Incredible was pretty awesome. I like that guy.
Man,
Reb,
he's got so many good stories.
you need to send Pauly the picture of Heyman that is
Do I have to?
permanently the one that's permanently
Uh,
tattooed on our brains
yeah,
Ah,
from what he told us.
Justin told us a story about going up to Heyman's room to smoke a little bit, and then Paulie was wearing nothing but a towel.
When
It
he
just
answered
kind
the
of
door.
hey, it happens. It
I-
happens. It's tough on the road.
it does. It does. I mean,
Sometimes you need a schwitz, So,
but yeah, talking about ECW, I kind of feel the same way here because we had Justin on, we had Jack Victory on a couple months ago. Our first ever guest to call in was Big Alfonso. So
nice.
those are the guys that popped me because I was in high school when like the tail end of ECW when they got on
Hmm.
TNN. So that's the stuff that I was really drawn to. I mean, I watched everything, but
Right.
ECW was so
No,
different that
they
it
were
just
a brand
it
on their
grabbed you.
own, man. They deserve to get on TV and out to the public because they were awesome. Those guys were
Yeah,
awesome. Sabu. I was the biggest Sabu mark in middle school, man. Like I was the coolest Sabu and RVD. Come on. How cool were they?
yeah.
And then I
Hey,
met Sabu and he was all right, but I still really want to meet RVD because I hear he's awesome.
Yeah,
we're gonna
he's
meet him in a week and a half.
yeah, we're going to
That's
the
awesome.
Squirt Circle Expo in Indianapolis, and we're
Oh
having a
hell
bunch of
yeah.
those guys out there.
Very cool.
He's getting
They
his
get
picture with Arn Anderson. He's so excited.
oh yeah.
Ah,
And I
that's
get to be
awesome.
with the Nation of Domination, so I'm
Hey,
excited.
I'm getting
Even
Liger
better.
too,
That's great.
so
Yep,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
getting Liger. Yeah.
got to get
That's
Liger,
pretty
right?
sweet. Yeah, that's it's it's always cool to me that they've had all what's it 4 Tiger masks now at this point,
Seems like
4 or 5,
it.
yeah.
4 or 5, but there's only been one Liger,
Right.
Hmm.
and they could very easily that guy's like Kiss, man. They could just put new people underneath the makeup and go sing "I Was Made for Loving You," and no the true fans would still show up back to the arenas, and I've always found it fascinating that Liger has never been replaced, probably because he is just he's all around pound for pound the best.
Yeah.
Yes.
The best.
And I always like the fact he would have like the side characters, like he had Black Liger and Kishin Liger, all these like for whatever match he was going into, he had a
Yeah.
persona for it.
Yes. Yeah. So that
And
match where I don't know the full story behind it. I've just seen the clips of it with him versus Muda, and Muda rips his mask off and he has Muda's paint on underneath, and like he was like, that was you ever seen that? Yeah, that was some good stuff, man.
Oh,
yeah,
we'll have to look that one up, Reb.
yeah, I got to
You need
find
to
Yeah.
that
send
one.
it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look up Muda versus Liger, and throughout the whole thing they're battling, and then at one point Muda rips his mask, and when the mask comes off, his face is painted like Great Muda. And I
Nice.
don't know if he spits the mist or not, but it's like that's awesome. I just watched it recently. And I'm like, I knew it was gonna happen. I still went, oh wow, look at that! No way! I can't believe they did that. Like, yeah, dude,
Yeah.
you knew that was happening. Shut up.
Well, Well, our crew was hanging out over the weekend watching old WCW from '96, and we came across the match with Liger and Mysterio from Starrcade. And this is 21-year-old Mysterio, and
Yes.
this is Liger right after he had his brain surgery, when he had his brain
Holy
tumor.
Okay.
And you wouldn't have known. Just
No.
everything was just so good in that match.
Yeah. Really, dude. For real. The guy, he's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. I'm glad he got to have at least one match in WWE. At the time,
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
know why it was against Prince Pretty, but they still they had a phenomenal match. So I who
They
the
had a
fuck am I?
great
What do I
match.
know?
That was still one of my favorite. I
Yeah.
love that
He's
match.
It's like seeing Sting at WrestleMania. It's just one of those things you're like, that's cool. I'm glad it happened.
yeah.
I'm glad it happened.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see Liger in the Rumble, to be honest with you. He would have been a cool surprise for one of the
He would have been a
Rumbles.
cool surprise in the Rumble. Absolutely. Absolutely. But, hey, what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's true.
I feel
Probably
like
only
I feel like they don't really deal with Japan as much as they used to in the past anymore. And I don't know if that's because of AEW or whatnot, but I also don't think WWE needs it at this point. They have so many people on their roster with
yeah.
only so many slots to fill.
Yeah, they're top
It's
heavy right
crazy.
now. They're
Very
very top
top heavy.
heavy.
And
Well,
their houses are through the roof, so they're doing
yeah.
something
Yeah.
right. And I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I know they did send Nakamura over for Muda's retirement to have like one of his last matches. So
Yes.
I think they're a little more lenient with that now. I think Vince was probably a big factor, like
Oh, Vince is a
recently.
douche.
Well, yeah. Hey,
Well,
I
we
bet
know
you're
that.
glad you didn't go with Vinny for your name in hindsight.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I never put those two together. I'm glad you did. But yeah, absolutely, man. That guy, he's a maniac. He truly is a maniac. And back when Vito was doing his podcast, 100 years ago, they had Stevie Richards on, and I remember listening to it and hearing Stevie talk. Again, a guy that's been there, a guy that's done stuff, a guy that's he wasn't just there, to be there. Like he had a job, and they asked him about his time in WWE, and he said, I loved it. I'm proud of it. I'm glad I was able to do it, but there's nothing worse than going to work every day and wondering, am I getting fired today?
Yeah.
Do I need to stay out of Vince's line of sight? Because at one day he might go, oh my God, that's the greatest guy ever. The next day he's gonna go, who's this asshole over there? Hey pal, who's this guy? And then he goes, the next day you're gonna go, he's gonna fire you because he didn't have a sandwich that day.
Yeah.
He's hungry. Now he's
Or you,
mean.
or you
And, oh, well,
sneezed in
fuck
front
that
of
guy.
him.
Get him off the roster. Yeah, or you sneeze in front of him. So, he's just he's a very weird guy. But he's brought a lot of entertainment into my life in my almost 40 years of being on this planet because of WWE. And
Yeah.
do you guys listen to something to wrestle with, or at least when it was good? I don't
Oh
listen to
yeah,
it anymore. Uh,
that's one of
When
my
it was
it's one of my
good.
favorites to listen to.
yeah.
So
So back in 18, when Conrad and Bruce were touring, because they, it was worth a shit back then. Bruce didn't have a
right.
job with WWE. Uh, I went to their event at House of Blues in Chicago, and it was awesome. Like I'm
Oh,
so glad
nice.
I went. But he told the story of how $1 Million Man became $1 Million Man. Have you guys ever
hmm
heard this story? Do you know this? Or okay,
I heard the DiBiase episode, so I've heard this story.
okay, yeah. So
On
he
the
told
plane.
that story on the plane. He goes, yeah, no, Vince McMahon's the real $1 Million Man. This guy's smoking on the plane. That's how long ago this was when that was allowed to do. And he
Yeah.
tells them, listen, can you put that out? I don't. The guy's like, fuck off. He's like, how much? How much here? And he just threw down a bunch of fucking money. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, not a problem. Put his cigarette out and didn't smoke the rest of the flight.
Like
Yeah,
he's like, I'll
and
pay for your
Bruce is
seat
going,
and I'll give you $500 or
yeah,
something like that.
and Bruce is going like, holy shit. Well, this is Ted. This the care you mean for Ted? Like, oh my God. Like, okay, great, yeah. So that's
Hey, we
it.
get to meet
Yeah,
him
those.
too in a week and a half.
Yeah.
Ted DiBiase,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
man, he
Now.
was one of the nicest legends I ever met. He was
hmm
super cool, super cool. I remember we were sitting there talking, and I don't again going off my outfits. I like the guys with their face painted and the mask and things, right? So I'm a huge Legion of Doom mark. So
Uh-huh.
we were talking about just different matches of that, and we asked about some of his favorite matches, some of the scary times in the ring, like what's happened with this or this, and he said, you guys are you, I'll never forget. He goes, are you guys old enough to remember us SummerSlam '92? I was 8, but yeah, I remember it. And he goes, remember how we were match 1, right? And I knew that only because I had just recently made a singlet to go modeled after Legion of Doom's tights. But I
Uh-huh.
loved the SummerSlam '92 outfit because it had gold outlined in red.
Yes.
And so I was like, yeah, like I'm gonna steal those ones for it. And so he brings that up, and I was like, yeah, I just watched that one. Yeah, you guys were matched number one. He goes, you know why? No,
Nope.
man, I was 8 at the time, and like we're not friends. So it's not you can call me and tell me. So he goes, uh, we couldn't find Hawk at all that day. He went off with some people, and he came back and he goes, hey, listen, I don't know. I think he said Tony Gurria. He went to someone, one of the office guys. Hey, and he wasn't making any sense. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, hang on, Hawk, sit down. What happened? What happened? Well, DiBiase goes, I'll spare you the time because it took a while to figure it all out. But long and short is, he finally admitted to it. He took some pills. Don't know what he took. They were starting to kick in, and he didn't know what was going to happen.
Oh.
So they're
So
like,
you need to
okay,
hurry
so
up and get the show
yeah,
over.
so they need to hurry up, and you're now instead of semi-main event, you're match number 1. So
Oh.
get the fuck out there. So if you go back and watch, and you watch them on the motorcycles and stuff, you can see them like, like yeah, it's crazy. But I also asked him like, what was that Road Warrior pop like? Because I always heard, is that legit? He goes, oh, that's legit. That was legit. I'm like, man. I go, was it at least cool? No, and he's like, no, it wasn't cool because they were assholes about it. Hey, did you hear that pop? Hey, did you hear that pop? Yeah, Mike. Yeah, Joe. I heard your pop, fuckers. So they would say it as dicks then just to have fun with the guys. But
I
man,
I think didn't I hear? I think Hawk parked his bike too close to Animals on that entrance, so Animal had to get off on the other side and he like
yes,
burned his
burnt
leg
his
on
leg.
the pipe.
Yep. Because he was messed up, man. They're like, we don't know what's gonna happen with him, so let's get this party started.
And then he just disappeared. He went off with the Hell's Angels after SummerSlam, and nobody heard from him for
No one
who
heard from
knows
him.
how long
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, he was his own worst enemy and stuff, man. It's great.
He
Yeah.
was.
And because of that, we got Animal and Crush as a tag team for the rest of the loop. But
Yes, that's I've seen video. That's actually pretty cool.
yeah,
Animal and Crush. That's pretty cool. That's pretty damn cool. But yeah, ugh. Anyway. Yeah, at
but
least
don't
it
get me
wasn't
started on
Drozdov
Crush's
back then.
mullet. Oh,
He
oh
had
Lord,
he had a bitchin' mullet. He had a really bitchin' mullet.
oh. Man, those early '90s mullets between Crush and Michaels, them alone kept the mullet business going.
Yes, absolutely. And they're
Razor.
coming back now. They're coming back.
Yeah.
The mullets are coming back, and
Oh,
I see
it's
these
been
middle school kids
discussed.
at the tournaments and stuff. And I'm just like, oh, cut your hair. Cut your goddamn hair. Like I remember like when I was in school, and I know I'm dating myself, and I'm going, get off my lawn. But goddamn, I remember having the rule like your hair couldn't come down past your eyebrows.
Yep.
If you had long hair and you wanted to keep it, you had to wear basically like a swim cap, like a nylon swim cap.
Uh-huh.
That was the rules. It's the rules. Deal with
You're
it.
talking for wrestling.
I'm talking about amateur wrestling, like in middle school and high
Yeah.
school. And now, oh well, I'm feeling, this or that. Come on, it's a rule. It's been a rule forever. Now I got these kids in my team with I call them like their skateboarder haircuts, with like a normal like fade, right? But then like the bangs come down like Bieber had. And I told the one
Yep.
kid on my team, he was my one of my 90 pounders and state qualifier, state placer, good kid. And but I always told him like Justin, I swear to God, I'm next meet, I'm bringing my scissors. Why, coach? I go, because when you put your headgear on, now your freaking hair's over your eyes. You can't see a goddamn thing. I'm just gonna cut. I'm gonna cut along the goddamn the strap. Where your strap is, it'll be perfect. Don't touch my hair, coach. Don't touch my hair. His dad one time, we get off the mat and I brush his hair to the side. I'm trying to tell him something, but he couldn't see me. I look at his dad. His dad's doing the scissor cut, like cut his goddamn hair, coach. But yeah, it was funny.
Hey, Reb,
makes
you
me-
haven't had very good experiences with scissors at wrestling matches, have you?
No, we had the guy CMC and 01 actually cut my beard off a few months ago
jeez.
because he thinks he's funny.
So that wasn't planned.
Well,
kayfabe, Pauly, kayfabe.
Well, how am I? I wasn't there. I don't know.
That's true. That's true.
I wasn't
That's true.
there. I wasn't there.
I
I
wasn't even there.
I wasn't there.
Oh, wait a
So,
minute.
call
Are
me-
we in the presence of another cult member?
What?
Are you
Are
a
you-
corny guy, Polly?
In small doses. I was actually doing the British Bulldog when Shawn Michaels got beat up.
Ah.
That was Bruce Pritchard.
yeah,
Bruce Pritchard was telling he's like, Bulldog, what the fuck? And why he goes, I don't know. I wasn't there. He was passed out in the back seat of the car. That's why he wasn't there. I don't
yeah,
know. I wasn't there. I wasn't
yeah.
there.
Cornette references that all the time on his
He
Oh, he
does.
podcast too.
does.
So
Oh,
Yeah,
it must be a
all
running.
the time. All the time.
goddamn, motherfucker. Motherfucking Bulldog wasn't even there. He was passed out like a piece of shit. I'm assuming that's how it goes. So,
Motherfucker.
motherfucker. Goddamn. Yeah. Yeah. I do, like I
Oh,
said, I love doing Bruce Pritchard's impression of Cornette. Because it's very almost spot on to my dysfunction out of Milwaukee, his impression of Kurt. So
oh
like,
yeah.
come on, Paulie. I just want to we'll do like do like some knuckle stuff and we'll do like maybe body slam, but no, just snap me. Yeah, it'll be fun. And get a pane of glass, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
Throw a pane of glass, maybe. Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
I love Kurt. I really did. I really did. I love Kurt. He's the best.
Yeah, he's a guy I'd love to get on the show sometime because
Oh man, get him on because he's that dude's got stories for days, especially like Insane Clown Posse stories and things. 'Cause he's done multiple tours with them, not just wrestling tours, but like concert tours where he was on,
Oh, wow.
backstage and things like that with them. So yeah, he's one of the guys that helped get us hooked up with them to do the concert loop that we did in 2010 and stuff like that. So
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Kurt's got stories for days. He's awesome, and to boot, he's just a really good dude. Like
Yeah.
I won't
So-
hold it against him. He's a Packer fan, but
hey, like we all have something that's wrong with us.
That's
And
true.
that just happens to be his. It is what it is. I don't really sports that hard though, so it doesn't bother me that much.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, I'm not a big
All right.
sports guy.
I got another question.
Shoot.
Is there a move that you absolutely refuse to take in the ring?
Oh,
Or
homicides.
outside
What's
of,
it,
or
the
outside of the ring?
187, the 187, that psycho
Oh,
driver or whatever.
the cop killer.
Cop killer. Yeah, I won't take
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, that was dangerous.
Yeah, no, fuck that. Like I would never wanted to have taken El Generico or Sami Zayn's corner brainbuster. Luckily, the few times I was in the ring with him, we were on the same side, so I don't have to even worry about that. Anything like now where I'm falling on top of my head, I don't really want to take it because
So no tiger driver for you.
no, it depends on who's giving it to me. Depends on who's giving it to me. Another move I never liked the Japanese suplex. And Brad Bradley one time I thought he was just messing with me, but I should have known he was being serious. Like, oh, I'll give you the suplex. Well, I'm like, nah, man, don't. That move scares the shit out of me. Oh, you're fine. Just tuck. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, bro. Like, no. And besides, why you gonna do that to me? Like, it's not impressive if you do it to me. It's impressive if I do it to you because look at the size difference here. And he's like, nah, bro, it'll be good. And I was like, whatever. So I didn't think we were gonna do it. And then all of a sudden, the match he yokes me up, and I was like, oh, no, I felt like a child. At the time I was like 160 pounds, and Brad's like
That's a big man.
Yeah, what's he, 6'6", 280 at the time, probably.
280 maybe. That would be generous.
Yeah. Just launches the shit. I'm like, oh my god. And as he's speaking, he goes, hey brother, just talk. I'm like, ah! Yeah, like I don't like this. I don't like being a rag doll. I'm like, I'm gonna start working out. I'm going to the gym. So, it's one of the things that I love teaming about. Like I love teaming with Craig, especially when we really started becoming our own as a team, and we were like a really established team. Like guys would come and goes, okay, yeah, we want to do this, this, and this, and then we'll throw like a triple ending in there. We're like, no, we're not. No, we're not doing any of that. We'll see you out there. But
Sorry, not doing that, brother.
Like Vito and I had, yeah, sorry, brother, we're not doing that. Yeah, got anything else, kid? But like Vito and I ran into that problem too. Like when we were on tour with the Clowns, we were their tag team champions. And what we would do is Vito would body slam one guy and then position another. He'd slam do almost like a reverse body slam the other guy. So they were 69ing each other in the corner, and I would 450 him.
Oh jeez.
And these dudes in Portland were like, first off, they walk up to us, and this is like 3/4 of the way through the tour, halfway through the tour. All right, so who's going over tonight, guys? And Vito looks at me. He goes, man, our match. Tell him what we're doing. I'm going over here. And I was like, come on, don't do this to me, man. Like, all right, guys, we're going over. And they're like, what? What do you mean? Like, Vito turns around and goes, "We're on the bus, motherfuckers. You're not on tour. We're on the bus. You're going under. He's gonna go over the 450. Don't worry about it." And he walked away. Like, I put the match together. This is what we're gonna do. Do this, this, and this. I said Vito will stack you up. It'll be like a 69 at 450. Oh yeah, no, we're not gonna take that. I said, all right, we'll figure it out. Go to Vito. I'm like, hey man, they don't want to take the gimmick. And he goes, all right, tell them we're just gonna do a roll up. I said, okay. I'm like, all right, it's just gonna be a roll up. We'll call it off. He goes, oh, okay, great. So then we're sitting there, we're waiting for them to go out, and they're refusing to come out. Corporal Robinson goes and grabs both of them like they're children by the back of their shirts and like pushes them through the crowd, like through the curtain. And then he goes, I want you to fuck those guys up. I'm like, all right, easy, buddy. Don't worry, we'll be fine. And boom. Vito body slams the one, picks the other kid up, throws him on there. And I'm climbing the rope as he's doing, as I'm on top, looking at the one guy going, no. Like, palm. When I hit them, I didn't table out. I did full like RVD frog slash, like, so when we hit, it was like a goddamn explosion went off in the ring. And the way I bounced off them and grabbed the thing, like, fuck you, dude. We're on the bus, motherfucker. We're on the bus. I'll never, like, that's a t-shirt. Like, I would love to have that. Like, we're on the bus. Like, no one would know what it means except me and Vito, but funny. We're on the bus, motherfucker.
Oh,
yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it makes
He had
sense
had
to me.
enough.
If you're on the bus,
Right.
Yeah.
Who do you
And
think
the
going?
tears
We're on
over here,
tour.
Reb.
Yeah, we're on
tears.
the tour. You are not. What? Let's be happy you're here. You're getting a payday. You're getting to see a free concert. Like, come on, knock it off. Yeah. We're on the
Oh,
bus,
people are
motherfucker.
fun.
Show name.
Well,
oh my
Reb, what more
goodness.
you got for our guest?
Well, there's something you mentioned it a little bit. I knew from a long time ago. You mentioned making your gear, the stuff for the Saints.
Yeah.
How did that start? Is it just out of necessity because it's more affordable to just make your own?
So
Than
there's a place in Elk Grove called Show Off, and they were the only people around. But for a pair of Speedos back in 03, it was $180.
ooh,
Yeah, and I was
Wow.
like, fuck, that sucks. And then there was a dude, Crew Jones. I don't remember him at all, but he was making everyone. He started making a lot of people's gear. Well, the problem is he was affordable, he was fast, and the next time you saw him, you had new gear. So it was great. But then he started getting overworked, and it got to be too much for him. So December of 04, yeah, it was December of 04. I went and I bought a sewing machine. My mom showed me how to load it up. And by February of 05, it took me a little bit because the first pair of Speedos I made one side went up like a thong at my ass crack, and the other one somehow went down my leg like a pair of biker shorts. So I don't know. Don't ask. I don't know how it happened. But yeah, no. Long and short, it took a little bit talking to certain people, and we didn't really have YouTube at the time. We had it, but it wasn't like what the monster it is today. To look up
Right.
how to really do it. So trying to figure things out, do this, do that, this works, that doesn't work. And then, yeah, I was able to start making my own gear. And then I started making gear for Vito and Sal, and then making my stuff. And then I started kind of branching out, making it for other people and things like that. And now I still make it for a few guys here and there. I fell into that same situation though, but just being way too busy with it. The money was good. Oh, that was fun, but my time was just not wasted because again it was work, but it was just so much time. But I'm thankful for it because when my daughter was in gymnastics, I was able to make her leotards, and that was always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember a couple of girls. Oh my god, I can't wait till she's big enough so you can make our gear. I'm like, I am never making gear for chicks. Like, sorry, the couple that I tried, I don't have boobs, so I don't know how to like. I like to touch them. That's
Yeah.
all fine and dandy, but to make
sure.
and then it's like, how do I got to measure you out
How
and
do
I
you?
got to be respectful. But no, I'm done. I'm good. Like, no, I'm good. I
Yeah,
don't want to do it. I
you got to know to
apologize.
compensate for the stretch. It seems like it'd
Yeah,
just be a whole thing.
it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, and my mom raised me properly to respect women and stuff, and so I'm not I'm not about to be touching, goodies when I shouldn't be. And I know the
Oh
pig
yeah.
that I am, I would at least try something with someone at one point, and it wouldn't be a good thing. So no, I'm joking. I just it got to be too much, and usually women's gear. The truth of it all, usually women's gear is a little bit more intricate than
Yeah.
I was capable or comfortable to even try.
Yeah.
Because you
Hmm.
see some of those things, you're like, holy fuck, like wow, I get it. So,
Yeah.
but then I also thought it'd be weird that if I did make some stuff for women, like they would sell it off to dudes for probably more than what they paid for it, so guys
Yeah.
could have it in their collections.
Right.
Right.
That they could, hey, make sure you don't wash it. I want it fresh after a match. Like, yeah,
Ugh.
I don't need that funk.
Ugh.
Gross. You fucking
Ew.
side hugging weirdos, get out of here. Ah.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So what's been the largest crowd and the smallest crowd that you've ever wrestled in front of?
Largest crowd. I want to say it was like 5,000 people in Arizona back in
Wow.
2010 for the Clowns. It
Gotcha.
was one of their last. It was their first time being in Arizona in a while. I want to say it was like 5,000 people there, but locally it was probably for Pro Wrestling Blitz for their WrestleFest.
Uh-huh.
The one that had Kurt Angle and Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and Scott Steiner, all those guys like that one.
Uh-huh.
Booker T, like that. That one, I want to say they had like 1,300 people or something like that. 2,000, it was close to 2,000. I don't remember the
Yeah.
exact number, but there was a lot. There was a shit ton of people there,
I
and
got
then
a
the
buddy that
least
was
amount of
there.
people. Yeah, it was a great show, but I would say the
Yeah.
least amount of people. It was 7 in Vincennes, Indiana, I think,
Oh my.
for Ian Rotten. But
Oh
Uh,
then
geez.
we also did in front of 12 people a 65-minute match with Jamie Noble. It was an 8-man tag. Country Boy Can't Survive is the name of the show. So
oh yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
there's that. Yeah, that's out there.
I may
So
have the
but
DVD of that somewhere.
you very well. Tyler Black's in it, or Seth Rollins, we're gonna call him. He's on the
Yeah.
match. Like it was crazy, dude. And what's
Yeah.
funny too is I I was the Indiana state champion at the time, and I didn't have my belt for some reason, or was I the IWA Mid South champ? I don't know. I was losing the belt, but I ended up like I had one title and not the other, whatever it was. But I ended up having to come out with the title, but I wasn't the IW Mid South champion, so I had to like take their belt and like I wore it to the ring backwards like a real asshole. Like I would never disrespect a belt like that, but I had to because I didn't have the belt with me, or something happened where I don't know why I didn't have it, but I didn't have it, or I had lost it previously, but something didn't come out. I don't know. Ian was trying to do TV things. Ian always had a scheme, always had
Yeah.
something. So yeah,
Yeah.
but if I'm pretty sure that was the night where I came out. If you look, I have the title on backwards. All you see is like the buttons of the strap instead of the face paint like you're
Rick
supposed to.
Steiner style.
Right, right, but not as cool. Definitely
Right.
not as cool.
When was it that you and Jimmy Jacobs had the match where you were wearing the girls' hoodies from the front row?
I want to say that was February '05 in Rensselaer, Indiana. That was the respect match, I believe. It was in that beginning part when I first started with IWA Mid South. I believe that was, yeah, I want to say that was February '05 because I started with Ian in October of '04. So yeah, because then November I wrestled Punk, but I had Claudio in that time. I had Jimmy Jacobs, Matt Sydal, Delirious, all within my first month of working for Ian. I was like, holy shit, I don't belong in this company. Like, I don't belong here. I don't belong here. But Danny Daniels needed a ride, and I was more than willing to go pick him up and get booked on those shows. So it worked out really, really well for all of us.
There you go.
Yeah.
Claudio.
Yeah, that was the
Oh.
Yeah.
place to be at the time, man. Even funny story too. It's it's TPI '04. Ian did a 4-day shot, and so I'm out there, and all I see is Brandon versus Claudio, and there's no one's underline. I'm like, Ian, who do you want over tonight? He goes, kid, you go over. He ain't gonna make it in the States too much longer anyway. Just go over, kid. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, yeah.
In his infinite wisdom.
In his
in his
infinite
infinite. But
wisdom.
he did tell me one time, to his credit, because I know Ian gets a bad rap sometimes. I never had any problems with him, but I know a lot of people have. To his credit, he did tell me one time. He goes, "I have the worst judge in talent." I'm like, "Oh yeah, why is that?" Because he's booking us right now, and I thought he was just fucking with us. Ian had a weird like personality like that, and he
Mhm.
goes, "I once told these two Canadian kids that they were never gonna make it. Edge and Christian are killing it right now." I was like, Jesus Christ, Ian. Yeah. So
Woo,
yeah.
buddy.
Yeah, so that
Oh
should
Yeah.
have
my
been an eye
goodness.
opener when he was putting me over on Claudio and saying he ain't gonna make it in the States, kid. Yeah, he didn't do anything in the States, did he?
Nope.
Uh,
Nope. Didn't do anything. Well,
No.
right now he's not, but that's beside the point.
Right. Let's just say he's making it. He made a lot of money though, so I
Yeah,
think he's
he's
a
made
good
a
looking guy.
lot of money.
Yeah,
he is indeed the most money making man as he was in 2004, 2005.
absolutely, absolutely. And the guy that was ashamed of his body back then, so he covered it up in that stupid outfit.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
used to wear a suit with no sleeves
yeah,
in the ring,
yeah, pretty
and
much.
the hair needed work. I'm glad
Well,
he shaved the
he
head.
needed a shave. Yeah, sometimes you
Yeah,
gotta let that shit go.
yeah,
So, but hey,
but
again, who the fuck am I? That guy knew what he was doing and whatnot. So,
yeah.
but hey, listen, I need to take another break here
Actually, you know
if
what?
we
Why
can.
don't we just go ahead? We're gonna let you go and go do what
Okay.
you got to do. You got an open invite any time to come back and
Please
visit
Hey,
come
again.
back.
I had a ride, and now my schedule will be slowing down a little bit, so I can actually do this from home instead of while I'm driving. So, yeah, no, let's definitely set something else up here. I had a blast. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh heck yeah!
Really, really means a lot. So, thank you guys.
Thanks
Right
for
on.
coming
Thanks, sir.
on.
Take
Uh-huh.
care.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
He's hilarious. I
He
love
was a
him.
hoot. He's always been a funny guy, and
Hey, can we put him as our new good hoot of the week?
I think he has earned good hoot of the week for
He's earned good hoot of the week. He can take our truce. He can take our truce.
yeah yeah. So we got to get this function on at some point. Uh, he's a guy from I don't know if you ever seen any of his stuff up in Milwaukee, Minderz, but
Homework.
homework. Yeah. Well, Zach was talking about him. Zach Hendricks is engaged to Dysfunction's sister.
Okay, okay.
That's
So
the one he
that
was
was
talking about on the show last week.
Abercrombie.
No, Dysfunction.
Oh, okay.
Now Josh
Sorry.
Abercrombie is a different guy.
Oh, okay.
But no, we guys got to have Pauly back on at some point.
Yes, please.
We have to try to get Vito on, his brother, because
Why don't we try to get them both on at the same time?
maybe we'll have to see if we can do that.
Oh, we're getting
I'm
spoilers
not.
in the
Yeah,
we're
we're
getting
getting told
spoilers
that
in the
it's a good
chat.
NXT. Let's see. Uh, well, no big spoil. Just it says NXT's been a good one so far. Hey,
Uh,
who almost got my good hoot of the week, Menders,
who?
is Obafemi.
I'm telling you, I love
That
that
guy's got
guy.
stud written all over him.
He does. He really does. And I want Corny to see him because I think if Corny saw him, he would love him.
Yeah, yeah. Corny doesn't watch NXT, so he don't know who the hell he is. But he seems
Exactly.
like he'd be right up Corny's alley. And like
Yeah,
I said, he had the best line in any promo this whole year so far when he said,
he
"Send whoever
has.
you want, but don't send anyone you want back," or something to that effect.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yes, sir."
hmm
He's had 10 matches. He's already in Sir mode to me.
Well, he's huge.
All right, he's a big fella. That's for sure.
hmm
All right. Well, Minders, we got one more order of business before we get out of here because I know we're coming
We
up
got
on the
two.
2 hour mark. What?
We haven't even talked about, unless we're not going to talk about WrestleMania tonight. That was on our list.
Well, we can.
We don't
So,
have to. We can wait and do it next week.
well, we can hit the high spots because only a couple things have changed since the last time we were on. We've got 3 of the teams that are going to be challenging the Judgment Day for the tag titles booked last night. It's going to be
Well,
Awesome
the winners
Truth
are already on
DIY.
there, so
Yeah, so it's going to be a 6-way match. They've got uh, Awesome Truth DIY and New Day all qualified last night. They're going to do the other 2 Friday.
can I ask a silly question? Why did Raw get 4 teams in and SmackDown only gets 2 teams in?
Well, technically, Battle and Priest are both shows.
Oh, they are?
Well, tag champs, they go back and forth.
Okay. Oh, yeah, they're undisputed, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
So yeah. So we got that going. Jimmy and Jay is official now. Uh, they got the challenge got
I
accepted.
think you might get your Oli turn. I really do after watching last night. I think you might get your Oli turn.
It's very possible.
Mm-hmm.
They did announce the U.S. title is going to be a three-way. Minderz, Logan Paul against Kevin Owens and Randy Orton.
You
And
think
then
they're
I
gonna
got
add
to assume
Gable
that means
yet?
we're going to. Well, that's going to be the Intercontinental if it's anything.
Well, I know
With
that,
Gunther and
but do you
Sammy.
think they're gonna add Gable or not? Because he
I
was
would.
starting some smack with
Plus, he
he was
wasn't
starting
pinned
some
in that.
exactly. I was waiting for them
I
to
would.
bring that up last night and they didn't.
Yeah. I'm. I would be okay with that if they made that match into a three-way. And usually, I don't like making matches into three ways willy-nilly. But
Right.
yeah, I've got to assume they're going to do something with LA Knight and AJ Styles if they're not going to be in the U.S. title picture. But that hasn't
Maybe
been
that'll be like
announced.
a first contender or something. I don't know.
Maybe a grudge match. I mean, it seems like it would be
Yeah.
a
I
pretty
mean,
good
it
grudge
doesn't
match.
that's one that you don't have to have a belt for. It's all right.
No, I mean I was jonesing. I was hoping it was going to be Knight and Logan Paul one-on-one, but you never know. I'm thinking maybe Logan retains at Mania, then he drops it tonight at SummerSlam.
Isn't SummerSlam in Cleveland?
It is in Cleveland.
He ain't dropping it in Cleveland.
Well, you never know.
I
Wasn't he
don't think
like
he's
announced
dropping it
from
in
the
Cleveland.
Bahamas or something?
I have no idea. Probably. Because he doesn't want to be
I can't keep
associated with
track.
Cleveland, but I think that's where he's from.
It is, yeah. That's why he and Miz were teaming up and all that business before.
Yep. I still love Drew McIntyre. I want him heel all the time in my life. All the time.
He's so good. He's so
He
good.
is. So, yeah, that pretty well covers all of
Uh,
WrestleMania for updates.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh,
What
wrestling
did you
out of
think
Puerto
of the
Rico.
Puerto Rico? Okay. What did you think of Cody's promo last night?
It was okay. I mean, it's what I come to expect out of a Cody promo.
It was a little spicy with
A little
some
spicy.
of the verbiage. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people say that I've been listening to, especially on Busted Open, they were a little upset that Cody didn't get more pissed off about the stuff Rock said about his mom.
I could see that, but at the same time, how far do you want to drag your mom into it?
She's a
It's
spicy
kind of
meatball
like,
from what I hear, that Michelle
you
Rubio.
know, it's kind of
I didn't know
like,
the story about her beating up an undercover cop at a Willie Nelson concert.
yeah, I love his mom. Hold on one second. I got a cough.
He's using the
Sorry
cough
about that.
button. It's all
Yeah, I
good.
did use the cough button. I wasn't going to cough in your ear. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't realize. I want to hang out with his mom. That's all I know. But yeah, beating up the undercover cop. Yeah. So she may be spicy, but again, how much? It's kind of like what I try to tell the people down at 01. Like, they want to sit there and argue with all the wrestlers they don't like. They want to like poke buttons and things like that. You'll get under their skin more if you just don't say anything and you just look at them and smile. Sometimes that annoys them more that you're not interacting with them.
Right.
Trust me, I know from experience.
Yes. Unless you want to bring a megaphone to a wrestling show.
And then it gets stolen by the guy you wanted to hackle about it.
Mm-hmm. Heckle. But either.
Heckle,
Anyway.
whatever.
Anyway. So we got a couple more weeks till Mania. Was it 3 weeks? 2 Raws, I want
Let's
to say.
see. We've got
This next
2
Raw, Punk's
Raws.
coming back.
Yep. And then there's one
And then
Raw
the
after
week
that.
after that, and then that one, Rock's coming.
Right.
Yes. All right. But yeah, that's pretty much what we know about WrestleMania so far, and we'll keep up on that as we get going. And we gotta make a plan for our JTR Mania show, Minders, before WrestleMania.
We do, and it's crazy how
Yeah.
busy we all are, but
Oh, I know.
it is what it
For
is.
people that don't do much, we're awful busy.
I know. For those of us that don't do anything, seems like we don't get a free weekend ever.
Oh my goodness. All right. So, what do you say we get to
Are we doing our flashback
our
this week?
we're doing our Pro Wrestling Illustrated flashback this week, and
Yay! I'm gonna
let
know
me
more of
get
these
my
people. Like, know more of
yes,
what
we
they
are
do,
doing
and
a little more recent, if you want to call 25 years recent.
it kind of is. Yeah, but then you're talking Attitude Era, right before Ruthless Aggression. So yeah, I'm good with this time frame.
Yeah, just give me just a second. I'll get all these pictures put up there. All right. I'm regretting not labeling these more succinctly, but that's all right.
Mm. Do you have the women's group this time or no?
There was not a women's group on here, but
Okay,
in 1999 there wasn't a whole lot there.
you would have had Lita and
Uh,
Trish, and
but Trish in '99, no, she wasn't. She didn't debut until 2000.
oh, that's right.
Yeah. All right. So our topic is the March 2000 issue. There's the DDP and Kimberly on the covers. This is their year in review issue from 1999, and
So it
we got
says
DDP
it's
Most
March,
Hated
but
Wrestler
it's
of the Year.
technically January.
Press time was like November
Okay,
when they. It's about a 3 month uh, lag, pretty much.
okay.
So we're doing our March 2000 issue there. So starts off with our top 10 in general, and I didn't do all of them because there was also like AAA, CMLL, All Japan, all those. I
No
kind of truncated it
CMLL.
down
I'm
to,
over it.
but anyway, I pretty much just made it 5 subjects. It's the top 10, the tag teams, WWF, ECW, WCW. I figure that's enough.
Sounds good. Yep.
All right, and excuse me, wrong pipe. Hate when that happens. All right, I should have hit the cough button.
You should have hit the cough button.
Yes. All right. So anyway, starting off with our top 10 overall, and because I can't see, I'm going to think I've got it. Where? Here we go. So here's our top 10 from. Let me get the logo out of the corner so we can see The Rock's face. All right. So I was actually surprised Mike Awesome was number one in the top 10
Yeah.
as the ECW champion, followed by Triple H, Vader, who was the All Japan Triple Crown champion at press
Hmm.
time, Goldberg, The Rock, Steve Austin, and this was
Was
around the
he
time that
hurt at
Austin
that
got hit.
time?
This is right around the time he got hit by the car.
Ah, when
Then
Rikishi hit him.
yes, he did it for The Rock, you know.
He did it for The Rock. You
Uh,
know, I still wonder if Rikishi's not going to come back and turn on the bloodline.
he could turn on the bloodline, or would he help the bloodline?
I think he'd turn on him.
Should he referee the match with Jimmy and Jay?
Did you know he's already picked his winner?
I did not.
He has.
Who did he pick?
He picked Jay,
Oh, interesting.
right? I saw that.
Uh,
I saw that earlier today.
interesting. All right, well, just to round out our 10, Bret Hart, who was kind of hot
This is when
potato
he
in the
started going
world title.
downhill for me.
Yeah, this is right around the time he got the kick from Goldberg in
Yep.
that Starrcade '99 period. Great Muta, New Japan IWGP champion at the time. And then
Seems so
a little
weird to see
surprising.
him without makeup.
I know this is actually technically it's Keiji Muto, not the Great Muta
Oh,
in
okay.
this position. I was a little surprised Rick Steiner was number 9. Uh,
Hmm.
he was one of the main heels in WCW at the time. And then number 10 was Chris Benoit.
Oh,
He around the time he was the U.S. champion.
I loved Chris.
Yeah, he was so fun to watch.
He was.
What'd you think of that match we saw over the weekend? Him and Sullivan in the False Count Anywhere match.
Oh, jeez.
There's
You
a
want to talk
lady in
about
the
some
men's room.
fuckery? You want to talk about some fuckery?
There's a lot of fuckery in that match,
There is.
but a lot of time in the men's room.
They did spend a lot of time in the men's room, which was a little weird.
And there was a lady in the men's room.
There were little kids that everybody kept trying to grab to get away. It was too much.
That's
Too
the one that
much.
holding a baby.
Yeah. It's like, what? Yeah, let's take a kid in there. That sounds like a
Yeah.
great plan.
All right. Let's go to our. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make sure I get the list up so I don't mispronounce any of these names because
Are we doing tag teams or what are we doing next?
We're doing tag teams.
Okay.
So let me get this over here. All right, and here we go. Tag teams, March 2000.
Woohoo!
All right, so here we go. Number 1, New Age Outlaws.
Of course.
Right around the time they got back together and won the tag titles. Number 2 is Manabu Nakanishi and Yuji Nagata from New Japan.
Okay.
And we can't blame Meltzer for this. This is Bill Apter. So Billy Kidman and Conan were number 3 from WCW. Filthy
Is
Animals.
that little Ray Ray in the middle?
That's little Ray Ray in the corner. The pictures, these Japanese fellas always stand far apart. So some of these,
I know.
it's really hard to get them both in there. The
You get
next
like
one is
half and half.
Jun Akiyama and Kenta Kobashi is the next one. Akiyama's the one that Kingston emulates heavily these days. I think he was actually he wrestled Danielson a couple weeks ago in on Rampage, I want to say.
Oh boy, on Rampage, the third show.
Yeah, right. Raven and Dreamer number 5 when they were ECW Tag Champs, which I remember. The first time I put on ECW on TNN because I didn't watch the show regularly because we didn't get it here.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew about Raven and Dreamer in their feud, and then I look and it's like, wait, they're tag champs? What the hell happened here?
Thank you, Pauly.
Oh boy, and they worked as a team. I really enjoyed them as a team.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 6, we got the Hardys. Fairly early into their run. This is after they won the ladder match with Edge and Christian and No Mercy. And I
That
think
guy
they
in the
had
next
one
one
run
looks familiar.
Yeah, number 7, we got the Impact Players, Lance Storm and Just Incredible. Harlem Heat, number 8, which seems low for Harlem Heat on a tag team list.
Not really when you figure all the other ones that
That's
are
true.
put in there.
But they are ahead of the Hollies, Hardcore and Crash at number 9,
Crash.
Elroy. And then Balls Mahoney and Axel Rotten, the Hardcore Chair Swinging Freaks at number 10.
Those two are crazy.
They were Axel, for not for nothing, was a hell of an actual wrestler when he wanted to be.
Yeah.
Both of them were. Both of them could.
Well, I'm
Balls
sure, but
Balls had a background in amateur wrestling also. So
I can see
all
that.
right. Next up,
can we save ECW for last?
I was planning on it.
Okay.
All right. Next up, WWF.
All right. This is before you were getting the F out.
Yes, the F was still in.
The F was still in.
All
they
right.
weren't
So
being
our
sued yet.
Yes. So at press time, the world champion was Triple H.
All right. Let's see who his contenders are.
All right, and then here you go. Then our top 10 after that here.
Wait a
China.
minute.
China was the Intercontinental Champion at the time.
Oh, that's right.
Then we got The Rock, Steve Austin, Davey Boy Smith in his denim period.
I'm so excited about next week's Legends. We've got Davey Boy next week.
On A&E. Okay.
Yeah, on
A&E. I thought talking about the Expo. I was like, Davey Boy's not going to be at the Expo, Minderz.
No, I know that. Next week on A&E. Well, this Sunday on A&E.
This coming Sunday. Yeah.
Yes. Is that Test?
That is Test at number 5.
I miss him.
He was so underrated.
He really was. And he
yeah,
had so many, like, his angle with Stephanie and Triple H. That was so
TNA.
funny.
I love TNA.
Oh, Test and Albert?
Yeah, with Trish, when Trish was brand new.
What, weren't they with Marlena too?
No, that was the Hardys. Because the
Okay,
Hardys won Marlena in the ladder match.
that's right.
I'm sorry, Terry. It was the Terry Invitational Tournament.
Yeah,
Hint, hint. TIT. Get it?
yeah. Tit.
Thank you.
Because everything was a joke in the late
Uh-huh.
90s, early
And Jerry Lawler
2000s.
took to it like a fish to water, didn't he?
Puppies.
All right. Next up, we got Mankind at number 6.
So
Val
Mankind,
Venus.
not Dude Love, not
No,
Cactus
Mankind.
Jack.
Yeah.
We had
Not Mick
Mankind.
Foley.
Okay.
Yeah. I got Val Venus, everybody's favorite right
Me
wing nut
choppy
job
choppy
these
your
days.
pee.
Yeah, Mr. Choppy Choppy PP. The Big Show, right before he won the world title, is a
Okay,
number
I
7
have to
or number 8.
chuckle because your wife this weekend, when we were all over at AJ's, she's like, "Who's that big guy?" And we just kept going. You know him. That's Paul White.
But to be
She
fair,
was
she only
cracking
really
me
knows
up.
him as the Big Show. She didn't watch WCW
Oh,
back in the day,
I know.
so
But
she
then
was very taken aback by how young and how much hair he had,
how
and how
much
thin
hair
he
he had?
was.
Yeah.
It's weird calling
Wait,
a guy
you're
who's
telling
450 thin.
right? She's like, "Wait, you're telling me that's yep, we sure
That's the
are.
Big Show. Yeah,
That's a big
that's
show."
that's the guy from the Big Show on Netflix.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, number 9, Kane. At this point, Undertaker was gone. He was taking one of his hiatuses. And then number 10, oh, it's our buddy, the Big Boss Man. We love Boss Man.
We do love Big Boss Man. I love him in all
Who-
forms, but
Yeah, he
except
got
for
the.
Guardian Angel. I was not a fan.
I didn't care for the boss.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
That
liked
seemed
Big
lazy
Boss
to me.
Man. But see, here's the funny thing. So he was from Cobb County, Georgia, right?
Hmm.
So was my ex boss.
Oh, yes.
So that was
So
kind of
your
fun.
Boss Man was in Cobb County, Georgia.
Hmm.
Oh, interesting.
Don't know if they ever spent any time behind bars down in Cobb City, or Cobb County, but
They might have spent time in bars.
might have. No, I don't think so because I think she moved up here when she was 19. I don't know. She
Ah,
still may have spent time in bars down there. Who
gotcha.
knows?
Gotcha.
It is
Okay.
Georgia.
Yeah. All right. So next up, we have WCW with the new logo. So call
This
it the
was
vagina
towards the
logo.
end though,
Like in the tail end, yeah.
because this is like, wasn't it 01 they got bought out?
Their last Nitro was in March of 2001.
Okay, so this is about about 18 months beforehand.
Yeah, about a year and a half.
Yeah.
With when they had the vagina logo, as you see.
Yeah.
Not a great logo there for WCW. I like the original logo myself.
I did too.
Okay, so at this point the belt was vacant in WCW. It was between when Sting vacated it before they had a tournament to crown a new champion. So, oh wow, Ari says 23 years ago today. The
Oh wow. Okay.
all right, all right. So our top 10 for WCW again, no champion. Scott Hall number 1. I believe he was the TV champ or something at this point.
Okay.
Then you got Goldberg,
Mhm.
Bret Hart, who
Mhm.
eventually won the tournament to crown the new champion. Rick Steiner, Benoit, Sid Vicious.
Am I the only one that never really liked Sid Vicious?
There were some that didn't care for. I liked Sid's work in the ring when outside of that dumb power bomb to Pillman in the War Games cage. But
Which
I'll tell you
one
what,
was the one where he broke his leg?
that was the Sin pay-per-view in 2001. He was trying to do a big boot off the second rope and he landed with his leg and
Ugh. Ugh.
I can't watch it.
I can't either.
I'm so glad. I think they took it out of the playback.
Oh, you
for
can still
the
find it.
Peacock. Oh, I know you can.
You can
So
still find it.
whenever that anniversary rolls around, I have to go on social media silence because I don't want to see pictures. I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I
I'm
had that
really
break in my leg, so I know how it is.
I'm honestly really surprised at these last 3.
Oh, 4.
No, 4th one doesn't surprise me. The last 3 surprise me.
Before we get to the end of the list here, can we talk about how savage Sid was to Mercedes over the weekend?
Whoo, buddy.
He is not a fan of Mercedes Monet
No,
from the looks of it.
not at all.
Ooh.
Was it? Didn't AJ put that up?
Wasn't so he said Mercedes is worthless or Sasha Banks is worthless is what he
Yeah, it was
said in
something
his.
like that.
I mean, damn,
Yeah,
damn, Sid,
it's like going all in, aren't you, bud?
damn, isn't it softball season yet?
Yeah, right.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on, I'm getting there. Oh, there it
Okay.
is. Yeah, Sasha Banks is worthless.
I guess he's not going to get booked in AEW anytime soon.
Okay. No, I'm
I'm
okay.
just saying. I'm just saying.
I'm okay.
Hot take. So they've announced several Hall of Famers. They announced Thunderbolt Patterson was official last night.
Yep.
Do you think Sid Vicious should be in the Hall of Fame?
I mean, nah.
I mean, if Coco Ware is in there,
I mean, he has. Well, see, but Coco is one of my favorites back in the '80s.
me too.
So
I'm still holding out hope he has the bird with him on.
I know,
the
me
Expo.
too. I guess to me, I could take or leave Sid. It doesn't bother me either way. I mean, I'm not going to
Okay.
be
Fair
upset
enough.
if he goes in, but if he doesn't get in, it's
Yeah. He's
I
got
don't
the
really
world
care.
championships. He was a horseman. I think he should go in, but that's just me. All right, so finishing after that, Sting, number 7.
Uh-huh.
Again,
Now
he
I'm
had vacated the
surprised.
title. And now we get to Wolfpack Disco at number 8. When
Jeez.
he was Scott Hall's lackey. This is when the NWO really jumped the shark, in my opinion, when Disco
Yeah.
joined.
This is when there was too many people.
Yeah, and this is where it was too many people in the Wolfpack,
Yeah.
which is really saying something.
Right.
Billy Kidman, number 9. I think he may have still been cruiserweight champion at this point. I can't remember for sure. And then
Although I
love
do
Screaming.
love the last guy.
I love Norman. Screaming
I do
Norman
too.
Smiley in his full hardcore finery here in his football uniform. He has a helmet in his hands, but the picture's cropped so you can't see it.
I
But
love Norman.
Norman is so good. And he's doing such good stuff now in the Performance Center as a trainer.
Mm-hmm. You know, and it's nice to see. I guess I feel like the ones that went to WWE are the ones that really wanted to learn.
It
And
seems
all
like
the ones that went to AEW just wanted
they
to pay them.
just want to play with their friends.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, you're not wrong. All right. Now, last but not least, ECW.
I'm so excited to see this list.
Yes. All right. So our world champion is Mike Awesome,
Okay.
and he was in the middle of his run with Masato Tanaka, feuding over the belt, which was awesome. No pun intended. Then our top 10. Number 1, Rob Van Dam, naturally world TV champion. Sabu is number 2. I didn't mean to rhyme there.
Sure you didn't.
I honestly didn't. I did not know I was a poet. All right, Jerry Lynn, number 3.
I was say I thought that was Jerry Lynn.
Yes, that is Jerry Lynn, followed by Yoshihiro Tajiri at number 4. We're going to see him at the Expo, Minderz.
We are.
Yes.
Well, and you can see Rob Van Dam and Sabu too.
That's true. And Rhino.
And
He's
Rhino.
further down there. All right, so anyway, so Tajiri's number 4. Lance Storm, man, so good, number 5.
Mm-hmm. If only he had charisma.
I know. But that's why he was hanging out with our number 6, who is
Exactly
our buddy Just Incredible. This is before he really got the boost to that world championship level. That's when the Impact players were feuding with Raven and Dreamer and getting main events on the pay-per-views. Number 7 is Little Spike Dudley.
Little Spike Dudley.
Yes. Number 8, Little Guido Maritato, the littlest man with the biggest feet in ECW.
Okay. Now wait a minute. Did our buddy Bradley, is he mimicking Guido here?
I don't think so. Number 1, I think it's the wrong hand. And I don't think I think Guido is indicating how smart he is in this picture.
Not that his name is Guido.
He's doing the brain point.
Okay.
Right. He's not just saying Guido,
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
All right. Number 9, Rhino. He was pretty new at this point, so
I'm
That's why
so
he's so
meeting
low on
him
this
this
list.
year.
Oh, he is a great guy. I met him at the first expo I went to,
Yeah, I didn't
and
meet him at
such
the
a cool
last one,
guy.
so I think he's
You
definitely on my
should.
list this year.
You should definitely see if he still owns a marina in
Okay,
Michigan.
I'll find out.
Then number 10, Masato Tanaka, who would I
Yeah.
think a month after press time would win the world title from Mike Awesome and then drop it back to him.
Wow.
But a very strong list there for ECW.
Hmm. Some of my favorites.
Indeed. I want to go. I want to get that issue so I can read the year in review awards that they had in '99.
Right?
AJ, I agree. The Impact players were so good. They really were.
Hey, we need to talk about our Milky Cup.
Yes, Mulkey Cup is coming up at the basically in the month of April. We'll be doing that every week. We'll be doing a different bracket, and then the fifth and final week we'll be doing our semifinals championship
Ooh,
round.
what's our watch along next week?
Our watch along, I believe we are going to go with the Fish Market Street Fight from TNA.
Okay.
Team 3D versus Shark Boy and Curry Man from, I believe, Destination X in
All right.
2008, I think.
Okay.
But AJ will know.
We're gonna have to find it because I'm gonna
It's
need
on
it.
YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll have a
So it
YouTube
can't
link
be
for
that
it.
long.
It's not horribly long. Plus, I think the YouTube video has when they're weighing the Dudleys
Ah,
for the match because they had to make weight to wrestle.
gotcha.
So it's pretty interesting. So I think that's what we're going to do next week, along with our guest Minderz, because this is our go home episode before the Squared Circle Expo. So we're going to be joined by former SCX champion Jake Oman.
I'm so excited.
This is your get, Minderz. So
This was my get. That
and
doesn't
I
mean I
haven't.
still won't let you lead the interview, but
No. I'm willing to share because I don't. You've met the guy. I haven't met him, so you can
I've
talk to him
met him
about.
quite a few times.
Yes,
He's my buddy.
I've always heard good things about Jake, so we're
So
looking forward to
good.
that one. The week after that, the post Expo episode will be joined by Adolfo Dorta, as you see
Well,
there.
I want to tell you too about Jake. We'll be able to talk to him about his tour around Europe over the past month or the past 2
Oh,
months.
he's
Yeah,
been in Europe.
he's been in Europe for the past 2 months.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right. So we'll do that. Like I said, we got Adolfo. He's one of the organizers of the Squared Circle Expo. Also, as I understand, I think he's one of the organizers of the Days of the Dead conventions
Ah,
around the country, which I've been to a few of those also. So we'll bring that up.
he won't be getting sleep. He should be getting sleep by
He should
Tuesday.
be getting rest. I mean, he's got to fly back across the country after the expo's over, and we're putting this poor bastard through an interview on the
I know.
podcast.
At 5,
We will
or
be
well,
apologizing profusely when
at
he comes
5
on.
o'clock his time.
Oh boy, yeah, I got to
'Cause
make
he's
sure he
over.
knows about the time change because
Yeah.
I think I was on the assumption he lived on the East Coast. Now we got to make sure
Nope,
he
sure
knows.
doesn't. Lives on the
We
West
gotta
Coast.
we got to accommodate for Pacific time.
Yeah.
The next episode after that on April 9th, Minderz, you will not be with us. It's going to be
I
myself
won't, and I'm
and
so
Bari.
bummed.
But we're going to be joined by the sexiest man on earth, Jason Knight from ECW.
I'll be listening though.
Yes, and if you have questions, Minderz, make sure you throw those in the chat too.
Oh, I will.
And then the next guest we have confirmed on April 30th, we'll have the Cuban assassin, Fidel Sierra, joining us, which is awesome because he has worked with or knows everyone.
Right.
So he's got stories at the wazoo, I'm sure.
Well, I get that, but I always hate to ask him, be like, hey, what was it like to be in the ring with so and so?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
there's going to be a lot of Mark questions.
yeah,
You do Andre, because he did.
yeah.
And of
What
course,
can
this
you tell
episode brought
us?
to you by Prime
Yeah,
Hydration.
screw off. Until Prime's actually paying us, no. Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Well, Minderz, I think we've covered everything.
Well, good.
What do you say we get out of here? We're just over the 2 hour mark here, which isn't bad, all things considered,
Well,
because
considering
our guest
we had
was a lot of
guests.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks again to Pauly Thomaselli for joining us. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, we'll definitely have to have him back on at
Yes.
some point.
Yes. Because I feel like we just scratched the surface with him.
Yes.
And his stories had me in tears. So, yes
Yes.
please.
All right. Well, if that's the case, Minderz, tomorrow night on the Zero, almost said the Squared Circle podcast, the Zero
The
One
Squared Circle
Shootout,
podcast? Okay.
we're going to be joined by the Violent Gospel Dallas Preacher of the Lowlifes ahead of his tag team title opportunity this coming Saturday, with partner not worthy to be named against the Light.
AKA CMC.
But we're so glad to have Dallas back in our lives after
Yes.
his layoff.
After
And we're going to
his
get a live Dallas Preacher Fun Fact of the Week tomorrow.
Yes.
We're not doing a video. We're just going to do it live in studio.
Well, live in his studio, but you know.
Well, live on StreamYard.
There you go.
There you go. All right. But yeah, so until next week with Jake Oman, for Minderz, this is Reb. Reminding you all, life is hard, work stiff.
Thanks, guys.